Welcome back to the TDE Pod. Today we got Rush Meet again, and introducing to you Sam, who you would have seen in the Meet the Team.
Yes, sir. Hey.
Samson, eh?
Yeah, type shit, you know?
We got a few topics to tackle today. Let's just get straight into it. Do you want to start with time rules, or do you want to start with the tin?
Let's start time rules.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's the big one. I think
Touchy
that's the
subject.
biggest concern right now for everybody.
Okay, so if anyone doesn't know, TCG, I guess all Yu-Gi-Oh! Has switched to what previously was you have 45 minutes to complete a match. At the end of 45 minutes, you were locked into whichever phase of the game you were in, and the player with the higher life points at that time, by the end of that phase, would win that game, which could mean they win the match, they draw the match, whatever the case is. If there was a tie, that would be a true draw. And in some cases, players would roll 2d6 to determine who the winner was. Like, let's say we're playing locals or something. You probably wouldn't want to end in a draw just because placement isn't really going to matter. Might as well give the other guy an extra pack, win or lose the die roll. What we've now switched into is after 50 minutes of play, the game is just over. If no player has won 2 games during that time, the game ends with a double loss for both players. No more draws. Just double loss. So these rules came out last week. We played a Max CS here in the basement with these rules. I have thoughts on that. And then we played, Sam, you would have played 2 tournaments since. You would have played the Friday. A couple of us were down in the neighboring city, a few hours away, playing regional. And then today, the 3 of us, we all played locals under these same rules. Yeah. So I'll start with you, Raaid. What were your initial thoughts? And now, since having played in it a few times or a couple times, what are your thoughts?
Initial thoughts, I didn't like it, and honestly, still I don't like it. The idea that you get a double loss, it's kind of shitty because if you're up like 1-0 and you go into game 2 and like the time runs out, that means you both lose, right? And that's kind of unfair because what was the point of playing game 1, being up and then whatever, go game 2, even if you're up in life points, that still doesn't count.
Yeah. If
you go into game 3, they have game 1, you have game 2, or vice versa, you go to game 3 and you're up in life points, suddenly like it's still a loss. So it's like putting in all that effort to like burn your opponent and this and that. Like it's just, I guess you just don't need to be doing that. So I guess arguably that could be seen as good. Then you don't have this weird gimmicky out to like, oh, what can I do to burn for life points? Or do I side in like Dogwood? Just these weird cards that people just throw in, right?
Yeah.
You know, just to get just like an edge. But then now with the time rules, it's like no, it doesn't matter. If you guys didn't finish your duel, you both lost. And it's like, wow, I would just be more upset if I was up a game, like game 1, and then we're in game 2, and then it's like, yeah, I lost. Like I think if it's like tied 1-1. And then go to game 3, okay, maybe at that point, double game loss, sure, because you're tied for 1-1. Or just give it like a hard draw and then call it that. I think doing a game loss is pretty tough. I think it really affects the standings too when you get like higher up for like top cuts.
Yes.
I think like Triff's tweet was saying like you could be like 13-1, and then if you go to lose, you could be like, you can go from like top 3, top like 1-2 in the standings, to like dead last in like the top cut, because you get a second loss.
Which is another aspect of this is along with these time changes or end of match procedures, I guess is a better way to describe it. The top cut rules have changed as well.
Yeah.
Whereas before the top 128 players would go into a playoff, then to 64, 32, and so on. Now it's top 8 only. If you're not the top 8 players at an event, you're after Swiss, your day is over.
Yeah.
No matter what. Which I hate, personally. It kills the underdog story. I don't want to see the same 8 guys duking it out. Like, I know Swiss rounds are important, and now we're putting more emphasis on do well in the event all day. Actually have no mistakes. Play perfectly, get to top 8, and then proceed to win the event.
Yeah.
is something I think only the top level of players do. Guys like Triff, Jesse Cotton, Sam, those pro players, right? It makes it less where like you can get a guy who's fucking playing, I don't know, Cleforts in 20. Yeah, I don't want to self-insert, But seriously, he's playing like a rogue deck, just squeezes into top 32, and the strategy is so off kilter that it's like, oh, this guy actually has a shot at winning. We have fucking Ancient Gear Golem in the top 32 at whatever. You lose that now. You'll still see the deck profiles where it's like, yo, top 32 finish. But like, what does it mean anymore if you didn't have to go through a playoff round of 128, 64 to 32? Yeah. It's just, I acknowledge ultimately it's the same placements, but it doesn't feel as fun, I guess. It doesn't really give, like a lot of players, Triff himself has said, neither of his tops would have counted had these new rules been in place. Okay. He finished 9th in Vancouver, went on to win the event. Yeah. He finished 15th last year when he won the YCS. So in neither case would he have been in the top 8 to proceed into the playoff. Yeah. His day ends. The amount of content Triff has put out since winning YCS about being the best player, and I like the guy. Yeah. He's a very good player. Yeah. He's one of the best players.
100%.
Give the man his flowers. But under these new rules, we wouldn't have heard of him.
Yeah.
I think that's like such a it's a bad show of faith in the community. Yeah. Like, and I just like less opportunity for people who aren't, the 8 guys at any event that you recognize. I think is like, I think that's like crazy, like not unfair. I think it's fair, but it's just like it's a bit of a bummer.
Yeah. Another thing too, and correct us if we're wrong here in the comments there, but at the end of the day, I think that they added 2 more rounds as well.
Yes, that's true.
So what it does is it lengthens it. Yeah. Now, there's an interesting dynamic to that because on one hand, it's like you might get more prizing because there's an extra 2 rounds, but on the same side, like Matt was saying, like to make it into that top cut, it's like that much harder, and it's not just YCSs, we're talking also at regionals as well.
Yes.
Right, so the same guys that got their invites to Nats last year, this year, like, you're not going to Nats.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it changes who the world champion could be. Mm-hmm. If you just sneak into Nats, from regionals to Nats, whatever, you could win the world championship. Now, not so much.
No. And that's maybe also why it was so cool to watch, transitioning into Worlds this year, is because, like, you got to see decks like Sky Strikers, mm-hmm. You got to see, like, Luna Light, you got to see a variety of different players, whereas this year, or next year, I'd be interested to see what the decks that go to Worlds are going to be, and who the players that bring those decks to Worlds are going to be.
Yeah, I think a really interesting part of the World format, like the yearly Worlds, like, chase, is that, like, a guy could play, let's say Gem Knight, right? At a regional.
He's really holding on to this.
I can't remember his name. I think he was at Worlds. Isaiah, whatever.
Yeah.
Like he played Gem Knights at Nats, right? And finished top 8 or top 4 or whatever the fuck. Use that strategy to gain access to the next level and then switch to a different deck given the format had changed, right? I think you're going to see less of that because when you're playing a deck like that, Tempai, for example, high variance, results that, like, obviously speak for themselves, but as Tempai gets hit, the power level comes down, the variance gets higher. Now that Tempai's in that state, it's not a deck that you risk. Because if you lose 1 game, 2 games, now you're, like, the chances of you getting into that top 8 have completely dwindled. Yeah. So you don't take the chance. You go, I'm not going to misplay. I'm going to play my VSK9 deck. Hope that I don't brick.
Yeah.
And I have to take the best deck no matter what. Yeah. I can't be cheeky with my strategy. Yeah. I just think that's like a disservice to the game.
Now, here's another crazy theory. And I'm glad that you actually brought that up, Matt, because if you think about it, from a business standpoint, in a secretive way, it's almost a way to phase out old like decks.
Yeah.
Because like when you go into a big event like that, knowing that this it's getting slimmer and slimmer to make it at the top round, am I incentivized to play a deck like Gem Knights, Tenpai, Blue Eyes, or am I incentivized to play like the best quote unquote decks? Right? And if we look at our most recent format, like signs show you're either playing Draco Tail, Yummy, or you're playing VSK9.
Yeah.
Right? So next year, with these new rules in place, it incentivizes people to buy the new set, like Doom Z or Doom of Dimensions, and whatever new ones are coming, because it keeps the power creep going and phases out old decks.
Yeah. I think like we talked about last week, Raaid, like the format felt good last week.
Yes.
Because we have that triangle thing with the new 3 decks.
Yeah.
We have a lot of rogue decks becoming more viable, given that certain floodgates like Droll are less prevalent in main decks.
Yeah.
So you're giving the ability for a lot of decks to compete, right?
Yeah.
Now, given that the top 8 and the top cut has changed, that feels less of the case.
Yeah.
If you see one deck in the top cut that doesn't feel like it belongs, that's going to be an outlier for sure.
Yes.
More so than it feels like, okay, we saw, 8 Gem Knight decks in the top 32. Maybe this is a viable strategy. Otherwise, or I don't know. I just feel like that's like a bummer, honestly. Like, and it kills like the kind of the budget aspect of the game too. It's like some players don't want to spend, $1,000 on a VSK9 deck. They want to play $30 Ashen or whatever.
Right? Exactly.
So then, like, I guess adding to, like, both your points, so when you were saying that, like, it's kind of phasing out the old decks, that means this is going to make more, like, the newer decks more expensive this way, because, like, well, I got to play the newer deck, so people are just going to sell these cards for a lot higher of a price.
Demand goes up.
Exactly, because, like, it's just going to be phased out. The old decks I want to use are going to be phased out, and that's going to be problematic, too.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be, like, a better balance, where they decide, maybe, like, where they double game losses, just because, like I said, if you're up 1 and like you get a loss for that, I think it sucks. I think they should just like either just do a hard draw or just a game loss if you're both tied 1-1. And even to your points too about like phasing out the old decks, I think like definitely at the higher like the regional, the worlds, or even like YCSs, very valid for that, because those are just like events that you really really need to win. Otherwise, like if you're going to locals or you're playing with your friends, then it doesn't really matter what you're using because it's just locals. And it's not a big deal. But
absolutely.
But in the sense, like in the conversation of like the bigger events, absolutely. It's just you gotta be more incentivized to use the best structure for like a deck, hand traps, sets, board breakers, whatever. Like the best of the best, so that way you can maximize your chances of getting by. And then just go. And like obviously, sure, you'll have your random outlier. But those are simply just outliers. This doesn't mean like, that deck is gonna be like the deck that can take you to World or take you to the top of a YCS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just means that player just did really really well with that deck. And
which to be fair, maybe that's the way it always is. It feels less like that now, though, when it's so small of a sample size.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. Like we had our conversation in the last podcast about like using whatever deck and just being a really good controller.
Absolutely.
But then at this point, with the new time rules, though, it just doesn't feel that way. Like you can definitely still make that attempt, but if you really care about topping at these events, then you are better off using like the best decks.
Well,
like,
which to a certain extent will always be the case, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, it just kind of takes away that aspect of like, be a master of your craft kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh no, you gotta play these decks, otherwise you're letting variance be the difference in you being top 8 or top 9.
Yes.
Which is crushing.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But like I guess it is like all the more reason to like actually master your deck. Make sure you play your deck to the maximum of its ability. Using every single resource. Like for example, Blue Eyes, not forgetting to do like your wishes banish to like set. Like make sure you're using every single resource. I think that's also a good thing because then it makes sure that if you are gonna not use the best deck in the game, to make sure that you use like every single piece of your deck.
Use the best of your ability to make up for the difference.
Like the ceiling of your deck needs to be at the highest capability when you're using it, and at these sort of events, especially if you want to be in the top cut.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you don't care, then you don't care, and it doesn't really matter. You just go with the structure deck and call it a day.
Fun fact: you know why they call it the meta?
Why?
The acronym is actually most effective tools available. Yeah,
That's not
okay.
what that means.
it is.
No.
Yeah,
No, meta is like
most effective tools available. It's an acronym.
that's cope.
Yo, ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
That's crazy,
Google
actual. Because that actually like weirdly makes sense though.
Okay, you ChatGPT. I would have googled it, but I'm old.
The meta, like, okay, apply the same principle as metagaming to games like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Metagaming means taking outside game knowledge and applying that to your in-game responses.
Yeah.
So essentially, if I'm fighting a troll in Dungeons and Dragons, I know outside of the game, their HP replenishment is interrupted by hitting them with fire attacks. Because I know that as a person, I might use a fire attack in the game. That's metagaming. Because my character in the game wouldn't know that. When you apply that principle to Yu-Gi-Oh, it's knowing that it's not like the show.
No, it's not an acronym.
Yeah.
But
it's
it
not,
is same.
No. I get your point though.
Yeah,
but applying it to Yu-Gi-Oh would be like, I know your deck because I studied it outside of this game we're playing.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked that you're activating True Light and it does something crazy.
Yeah.
I know that already. So I'm planning my moves in this match, knowing what your cards do without having to interact with them. Like, I might know what you have in hand based off what cards you activate. Vanquish Soul is a really good meta game thing, because if you go stake your soul, reveal Ash Blossom, my meta game knowledge tells me you don't have rosin in hand, or you might. But in most cases, if you reveal something weird, I know you don't have a starter. So
it's funny you say that actually, because I was playing against Sean the other day, and I can't. Oh, what I did is I went Holy Sue, reveal Fire Dark, and I summoned out Caesar. And in his head, he looks at my cards. Or no, I guess I was playing against Carl, and then he looks at my hand, and I had Caesar in hand.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What? How did you? What are you doing?" And he couldn't make sense of it, but in my head, I knew I had Fire, Earth, and Dark, and I was just using Caesar to pop a card on the field.
Yeah.
I could have just normal summoned my Raisin after and continued to get the resources.
Right.
But it's like what Matt's saying. It's like with metagaming that way.
Yes.
Out of those 3 new decks, Vanquish Soul is one of the trickiest ones to play around, because you have to understand, like, even in our game earlier.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I normaled Mad Love and I grabbed a different one, and you're like, what's he doing?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the meta though, because I know that you're gonna grab the field spell.
Yeah.
You know that I know that.
Yeah.
If you grab something different, now you're tricking me into thinking that, oh, he drew the field spell, that's one of the cards in hand. Meanwhile, it's Nibiru, and I get punished for it, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Anyways, getting back to these time rules.
It's like a weird way of just baiting your opponent, right?
Yeah. When we're both aware of the ideal game states, then we can fuck with each other.
Yes.
By not showing how, like, by playing an inoptimal line.
Yeah.
You know, basically to gain advantage.
So segueing back into the time ways, and that's a perfect one. You know, it's like, and that's where the time rules, like my experience over the last 2 days was interesting. The first day that I went into locals, like, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because, like, you're gonna have young players, you know, naive, that, like, don't really understand that this is, like, a just an outlet for us, like a hobby, right? We go there to have fun, hang out with our buddies, whatever, win, right? And they think it's a joke, so they go in there and, like, you get trolls, right? Yeah. They're like, oh, I'm just gonna stall for time, and, like, we both get a double game loss. Like, that kind of ruins the game. At the same time, my experience too was on Friday at first. I actually felt like the games went faster.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking, because, like, even though we got an extra 5 minutes, it felt like I looked at the clock and I'm like, wow, we're down to like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to pay more attention to the time.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, I got to play quicker, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think, like...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I noticed that today people did not play as slow as they typically do, which is great, because I just don't like the slow play. Like, they just have to think about their plays so many times over. I just think that, like, at the end of the day, though, like, it's still the same as it was to some degree before, because you're still timed for 45 to 50 minutes, but I think it's the fear factor of getting a double loss, and that's just being more enforced now, because it is a new time rule, whereas before it's like you just roll forward and it's just whatever if the time was up. But now it's like, oh, your opponent, like, if they want to play slow, they're risking the fact that they're going to be
that they're going to lose. Yeah,
so they don't want to take that risk, so they are going to play faster and be quicker.
This is something you said. it sucks when, and this is a good point, like, to your credit, like, if you win game 1 and you're up in game 2, right? It sucks if you get a double game loss, or a double match loss, sorry. Yeah, agreed. However, there's the inverse of that. If you win game 1, then you just stall.
Yeah.
You go into time, and because you have more wins, game wins, you get a match win.
Yeah.
Not anymore, right? Which was the problem with the previous time rules. It's not just like the degenerate Dogwood, Borger, Cowboy 10 times if you're playing the 6-7 thing. Like, it's not just like the degenerate shit where it's like, that feels bad to lose that way because it doesn't feel like my opponent truly earned it or should have won that game. They won that phase, even if you could call it that.
Yeah.
And it just feels bad losing that way. Now it feels bad to get a double game loss. 100% it does. But, like you both said, people are playing faster because nobody wants to lose, right?
Yes.
So stalling now has no advantage unless you're just an asshole.
Yes.
But
And if you're an asshole, locals, like,
just don't come.
go fuck yourself.
Well, yeah, like, get friends, play with them, and see how long you can maintain those friendships when you're fucking Rubik stunning people.
Go back to the playground, man.
But I was saying the same thing to Sean earlier. Like, the gameplay benefits from these rule changes. The experience suffers.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
I felt like my first game, I match up against this guy, won't say his name, absolute character at our locals, but like a very like what's the word? Like endearing guy.
Yeah.
Like
Genuine.
He'll sing to you. He's like funny. He'll tell you like his ideas for new archetypes. Great guy.
No one ever sings to me.
Yeah, well, you gotta match up against this guy, man. I enjoyed playing against him, but there were points in our match where he'd be like, hey, have you heard of blah, 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 blah? I know he's not stalling. This guy, like, doesn't have a mean bone in his body. Yeah. He wouldn't be trying to double game loss. He's just there to have a good time. But I have to be like, hey, man, like, we could catch up later, but let's just try to, like, push through the game. And then another guy who's, like, a little off, you know, you get these kind of guys at locals. He's now talking to this guy Cross, and I have to cut him off and be like, hey, let's save it for later. I want to make sure we get, like, you know.
We got to cross the finish line here, Timmy.
Yeah, which is like.
Classroom for real.
Feels bad, bro, because it's like, yo, I like going to locals because I like interacting with some of these characters and just being like, this guy's an enigma. Yeah. Like, I can't believe this guy's singing the Dragon Tales theme song to me for the 5th time. I love this shit. But I can't because it's like, man, if we get a double game loss because you were singing to me, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
And that feels bad.
Right.
But also it's like, for those new players, like there's guys today that I've never seen at our locals. And you want to be like ingratiating and be like, hey, you're welcome here. You know, you can hang out with our group of guys. Like, you know, don't talk to those guys. They're weird. Like, but you can't really do that because you're so focused on like, we got to finish this fucking match. And I don't want a game loss. You don't want a game loss. I'm trying to cook you likewise. Yeah. It's just like the experience of like playing in locals and the social aspect of it suffers, in my opinion. Whereas the gameplay gets a lot better because there's like there was one guy today, you know, thinking, and I'm like, fucking look, start counting, man. Fucking, I love this thinking, man.
Bro activated D fissure. He's like, what does this card do? He's like,
bro, literally
one line of text on it.
We're playing a mirror match. This guy's like, oh, but if I hit them, fucking,
you know what my cards do.
Fuck, man. There's like, come on.
I think the degeneracy too of these like stuff is gonna be worse in some cases. So obviously like when you're playing at your locals and if you're cool with everybody and it's chill, it's like, okay, time's up, I'm up. All right, man, you have it. Like you could just between player to player respectfully do that. Yes. Now, like that's like just a kind thing to do. Not everyone actually technically has to do that. Technically,
and not everybody's deserving of that shit.
Exactly, because technically you both lost. So them giving you the win, it's not mandatory, not required in any way. It's just like a nice thing for them to do. It's not even like good sportsmanship. It's just like them being kind. Yes. So if you do go to a regionals, YCS, Worlds, or whatever, do not expect someone to be like, yeah, you won game 1, you're kind of up right now, you get the win. No, it's like, nah, man, we both get the loss here, and like. Because to them, it doesn't matter. They lost regardless, right? Yes. Whether you're up or not. but it's like you get the loss, so now you're down with them, and it really fucks your chances for anything else.
You know what's fucked up about that too? Now that you lost, right? And because of it's the double game loss, or double match loss rather, both records are worse.
Yeah.
I could let you win. And say, okay man, you're up. You get the win. Sure. But if I don't, and I likely wouldn't if we're at a big tournament, and I don't expect anyone should, like I wouldn't expect my opponent to give it to me, even though it might be frustrating. Because now that I've lost, and I've lost to you, and you've just lost, my tiebreaker score actually goes down.
Right.
Because the person I lost to has more losses than they otherwise would have.
Yeah.
Because we lost to each other.
Yeah.
So, by doing this, by taking, like, it's frustrating because, like, if you let the guy win, your score goes down no matter what.
Yeah.
If you get the double game loss, both of your scores go down no matter what.
Yeah. So
But-
it's a spite. It's a spite thing.
It's
You
a-
both lose.
It's a spiteful thing,
Yeah.
but you're going to get people who try to game that.
Yes.
Hey, man, give it to me
Yeah.
because you lost to me, but I won.
Yeah.
So that means your tiebreaker score doesn't go down. What's your record right now? You're X1. Okay, if you just give it to me, you're going to be X2. You probably still have a chance at top 8.
Yeah.
But if you take the double loss, you still be X2. Your tiebreakers to all the other X2s worsen because now you've lost to someone who's lost.
Yeah.
Someone who's X2 now as well.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad you guys brought that up because this brings up an interesting thing. It's like they tried to fix one problem, and the problem that they were attempting to fix was actually when you go X3 in your final round, like at the YCS, like I did, right? What a lot of guys will do is they'll go to their final round, they'll look at their opponent and be like, hey man, we're both X2 right now. Let's cut a draw, and we both make top cut, like right away.
Yeah.
Better odds at making top cut,
Like, there's no question, no, because what happens is you get, I think, 16 points.
Yes.
Because at that point, with 15, you get 16. You guys both make it into top cut, right? So it's unethical to force your way into top cut, whereas the rest of the players in that same table will win or lose, and then will bubble out or in, right? The problem that it's created is what Matt's saying, though, is now we're in a game, and here's the thing. Let's say I beat Matt. Right? Now you guys are playing in the next round. And he goes to you, he's like, hey man, look, like, you lost your last, or he lost his last round. He's like, dude, we're both X1, like, you win the game, or he wins the game. He's like, come on man, you might as well just give it to me. Because if we both get a double loss, now both of you are set back, and ironically too, what it does to me is it knocks me down.
Yes.
Because now you both have a double loss, so the person he lost to lost, and he lost.
Yes.
Okay.
Right? So now you're like, come on, just give me the game, man.
Yeah.
We'll both be like not as far behind.
Yeah.
You can still go X2 and possibly bubble into the top cut, and then he'll just go X1 and then make it for sure.
Right.
Which is unfortunate because had they not changed the top cut rules, this wouldn't really be a thing.
Okay.
Because you got to think about it, like the amount of people trying to make top 8 is a bigger number than the amount of people trying to make top 32. Like, there's less slots to occupy.
Yeah.
So the tiebreaker comes into it more. Because there's more people who, in theory, could go X2, even though there's 2 more rounds, and bubble out because of a tiebreaker score. Or X3, rather, I guess, and bubble out. So it's one of those feels shitty things. If you play the best day of your life, and in any other situation, you would have made it to top cut, there's an opportunity to, like, lock back in. Be like, I just got to beat the next game, and the next game, and the next game. I don't care what anybody says. Maybe the best players in the world have that mentality of, like, every game is its own thing. You just have to win that game in front of you to a certain extent. But we all recognize when we sign up for events, we're playing 9 rounds of Swiss. That's mentally Herculean, right? Like, to realize I won my game 1, I got 8 more of these motherfuckers, is different than I beat the guy in front of me, now I get a chance to play again. That's a totally different mindset. At least for me, like, seeing it that way, it's totally different. So if you finish 9th, and you're like, okay, I don't even get the chance anymore to, like, because, like, you had a momentary slip in the fucking round 1, like, I don't know. That's fucking...
You know what's even crazier, too, is you say 9 rounds, it's 11 now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
So, like, you talk about Mount Olympus just get bigger, right? So, like, and... it's kind of unfortunate with the transition into the new time rules. However, one cool thing is that we will see is just like, yes, the experience goes down, but the gameplay does slightly get better.
It does.
Yeah, it's a lot quicker. So there's a lot less slow playing going on. And even then too, it's like we were talking about how the calling for a judge is incentivized. Mm-hmm. That's probably gonna come up a lot more too with like slow playing, right? Yeah. It's like, hey, this guy's slow playing, and then you're gonna get time extensions, etc., etc. So we might be seeing a lot more of that in these bigger events because, like, rightfully so, I'm gonna be pissed if someone's slow playing at regionals where it's like I'm actually here to like really push for top cut, and the guy's slowing down. Like locals is locals. There's not much that you get out of it for top cut unless they have like a bigger event, but. I would be quite pressed if this guy is slowing down like crazy.
Locals is a different beast too because, like, in a lot of ways, you know those guys or you're familiar with them.
Yeah.
Pace of play is something you can kind of, with these new rules, is something you can easily determine. If a guy's going, first game, and that slows down game 2, and in game 3 it's snail pace, there's an obvious, this guy's fucking slow playing.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm going to have to see you next week.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to slow play me.
Yeah.
And make an enemy out of me.
Yeah.
And make any time we match up against each other an awkward experience for both of us, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I find like at the local level, it'll probably be less. Obviously, in every room of 10 people, there's one asshole. And locals, whatever, multiply that by how many people enter. There's always that guy. Like, or he doesn't like you or whatever the fuck, right? I have guys like that where it's like, I don't care if we get a double loss, man. You're a squid, you know it. Everyone in here knows it. And like, hey, man, if I'm the guy,
I'll see you next week.
I don't fucking care. Like,
type shit.
You're a bum. But like, for the most part, even guys like, I'm not very close with or like don't get along with, I don't want to screw him just to screw him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's crazy. It's like you want to maintain the integrity of the game.
Yeah.
Now, one quick thing here that I would like to bring up here too, actually. So first of all, when we went to the YCS, right, and it was like top 128, right? Mm-hmm. Now imagine that you've chopped that down to top 8. Mm-hmm. So as people start to lose. One cool thing about this is your side events will get bigger faster.
Yes,
right?
Very
Which
true.
is a cool thing.
As soon as you go X2, there's no... If you go X2 in the first 4 rounds, I'm dropping, bro.
Yeah.
The chances of me going on a fucking run and then still make 9th place, like, the fuck it, man. I'm going to win the giant card. Fuck it.
100%, yeah. And the other thing that I will bring up here, and a lot of players have been talking about it, it's like, you see what Konami did? They in a very sneaky way, they were like, hey guys, these are the new rules. People were like, no, we don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. Then they pulled it back to, no, this is just for Worlds, guys. Don't worry.
We're just trying
it, right? And then like, gotcha, bitch.
Well, it was the same thing with the fucking time travel, time wizard shit, like, oh, we didn't mean everyone.
Yes. And then, here's another one that kind of unrelated, but nobody really talked about is so at the YCS in Vancouver, a couple of my buddies from Vancouver, they only play GOAT now, right? Like they kind of stopped with the new format and Time Wizard formats. And then when they went to the event, they had
nothing.
No Time Wizard events, no GOAT.
And where would somebody find that information?
Yeah, no, seriously.
No.
Like, well, in seriousness, it's like they went online, they looked, there was like nothing.
Yeah.
They didn't announce it, nothing. You just show up to a big event, and like there's a lot of pro players out there that like, Ruggles, MBT, some of these guys, they only go there for GOAT events. And
Edison, GOAT,
and it's like, for them to, in a very sneaky way, just be like, oh, actually, we're not hosting those events right now, guys. Like, it's like, if I was, me being a Yu-Gi-Oh player right now, I'm keeping a very strict eye on Konami.
Okay, but here's the
thing.
Respectfully, yeah. Always. But it's all, like, it doesn't matter if it was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, whenever you played Yu-Gi-Oh! This has always been the problem. Yep. Other TCGs don't have this problem. In fact, the companies that produce their games love their player bases. They actually consider the player base to be the reason why they make money and are successful. What?
Imagine that.
Imagine. That's crazy. It's crazy how Konami, again, I love this game.
Yeah.
Like, I've played this game for 25 years. Like, something would have to be so fucking egregious for me to stop playing the game.
Yeah.
For like a extended period of time. Because I've gone, years without playing the game and then come back and get like fully invested, right?
It's kind of mechanic, right?
A cyclical. But pendulums too.
For real.
They're trap cards. You can set them.
Don't give them ideas.
Quick play pendulum. But never have I like invested in a hobby where the main contributors to the hobby actively like despise their customers. It seems like Konami could care the fuck less about what players enjoy from their game. Their main thing, and which will always be their main thing, most companies are like this, but like to a level that's like they can kind of trick you and be like, hey, one for the good guys. Okay, I'm gonna have to pay for it, sure, but like I'm willing to because it's like a quality of life upgrade. That type of shit does not exist in Konami. The bottom line is, will this make us money? Yes or no? If yes, then do it. But there's never any consideration of like, how will this make our players feel? Yo, we can make more money off of a Fuelos as a secret rare? Okay, fucking what are we waiting for? And it's like, okay, well that didn't fix the problem. No. You actually just like made it worse somehow. Incredibly, like I didn't think this rarity problem could get worse. Now it is. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, and it's always been this way. So like these changes where it's like this is a gameplay change, right? Taking the top cut thing, removing that from the equation, just like the time rules.
Yeah.
Did Konami like pull world champion players? Did they like ask on any level, survey their community on what they think might be a solution? Answer is no. The reason is Konami has this thing where like if players provide feedback, they're legally bound not to act on any of that. Same thing with like card suggestions, anything like that. They don't open shit, they don't read shit, because if they do, now they can't ever do it because of like the legality. If I send them like, yo, this would be cool, voiceless voice support, and then they actually make that card, I could be like, that was my idea, and sue Konami. So they don't touch that shit, right? There's certain cases in Japan where they've like collaborated with like entities.
Nike's got those fire new red eyes.
Type shit.
The red is pretty sick.
But for the most part, they like alienate the player base. Where it's like, yo, I think they just really don't care what we think.
Yeah.
They're just concerned with us buying product. Yeah. You experienced that earlier today.
Yeah.
What was it? Or is it? Do you have the
Mega
box of this?
No, they're so
Yeah.
I guess wait, just a quick note on the new time rule too before we hopped into like the tints topic. At the local level, at least, from today's experience, I mean, like you matched up with a runic stun, and so it's just like when you come across players like that, it's ass, right? The deck's supposed to just drag it out, stall like crazy, and if it gets to the point where he has to deal with this game for the next 50 minutes just to get a game loss, holy shit, like, you just dropped.
I didn't even play him.
Exactly.
I saw who was paired up against, so I was like, no, you gotta do it.
Because why would you waste your time? Why would you waste an hour of just like sitting through bullshit runic, and then at the end of it you just get, like, you either will lose because he 2-0s you, 2-1s you, whatever, or you just get the game lost. So you can do as much as you can, you just have to sit through runic. And for an hour. Like, why would you do that? You're better off just sitting to the side scrolling on your phone.
You know what's the worst part? That player finished top 4.
And he's finished top 4, yeah. So I was like, that's so fucking nuts. He's got 2 free wins because 2 people just dropped against him. Because they just weren't going to deal with that. Like, why would you? And you got fucking 4th place. It's actually insane.
Yeah, 2 free wins because people fucking dropped out.
So, like, that's where this new time rule is, like, toxic.
Yeah, and because you just come across really toxic players. Toxic behavior.
It's kind of like what we were talking about before, where it's like, okay, some of these rogue decks are going to disappear because they're not viable for 11 rounds. But then you get that guy who's playing Runic Stun. Nobody wants to play against it. At a regional, you fucking shut up and you do your best, right? Because, you paid to be there. Not that you didn't at locals, but, like, you want to win at the regional level, so you're just going to have to put up with it. But it's a viable strategy at a locals. But again, if you're going into locals with the express point just to win the event, which I do sometimes, but if you don't care about the experience of the player you're playing across from, and you're only concerned with winning, even if it comes with your approach is like, I'm going to scare you with the fact that I could double game loss. Bro,
villain, man.
Go play something else.
Yeah, that's such a
Go
villain
play Lurkana.
mentality. Yeah, that's so fucked.
And it's unfortunate, but on the flip side of it too, right? Like, if you're a genuine competitive player and you enjoy the game, like, the gameplay of it, sick. I can sit there with my opponent and I can be like back and forth. I'm like, okay, let's get this done, right? And then if you're done in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, cool. I'm gonna go grab something to eat. I'm gonna go chill. Like, I'm gonna go look at cards, trade with people, right? Yeah. That's kind of cool. And then the other side of it too, like Matt was bringing up at the very beginning, is it doesn't matter what end of the spectrum we sit on. We're in the sense where like Runic Stun players are kind of the dickheads. Before it was that guy who cowboy for you game or like play 3 Dogwoods. And then it was like, I guess I win. It's like either side you're dealing with the evil. Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's always going to be dickheads that play the game just to like nerf other players. Yeah. I don't think that's going anywhere. No. Now it has like more like real world consequences, and that like just because a guy's being a dick, you could just get a match loss. Yeah. But that's never not been the case. It just feels more prevalent now.
My last also tidbit on this is it's interesting. I'm kind of curious to see where very like annoying like FTK and OTK decks come in. Because, for example, like gimmick puppets, right? If left uninterrupted or you miss an interruption, that deck will kill you on their first turn. Right? So they don't even need to go to game 2. Right? They'll just kill you on their turn. Decks like Tenpai, Sky Striker, if it gets a chance to, like some of these decks, where they just make the game go quick. If I can't kill you, okay, we'll go. I think that exists though. Like, I get what you're saying, and when I first heard the time rules, that was where my head was at too. I was like, oh, this is gonna make decks like Tenpai, Striker, Gem Knight more prevalent because people are trying to do it quickly. In reality, I don't think it works that way because it's like both players are now playing fast anyways, and what it's gonna boil down to is the metagame knowledge. Your ability to see plays ahead of time and be like, I have no feasible way out of this situation unless I turn into a top deck genius and like just draw godly, then let's scoop, go to game 2. Because the amount of time I'm going to spend top decking and stalling you out might end up in me getting a match loss. So, you know what? I respect you as a player. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you won't fucking misplay your balls off. Then okay, I'll scoop and go to game 2 because I don't feel like I'm in a recoverable position. Which is the same thing though, of like, okay, if I set up a board and the guy is playing Tenpai and he fucking normal summon Pine Drive, I'm looking at my shit and I'm like, okay, let's just go to game 2. But that's how it was when the deck was a thing right? So that's how it was. But actually, it's funny that you bring that up. That happened to me today in one of my second games I was playing. And then I go battle phase, and they're like, okay, I'm going to use an effect where it bounces like 4 of your cards off the field. And I was like, do I sit here and try to see how far I can take this? Nah, you know what, it's all good. We'll go game 2. Open up a better hand, I'm like, okay, I can play the game again. Right? So, which is why, like, again, the meta knowledge, which again, maybe elevates rogue decks, if people don't know what your cards do. Now sitting there and reading cards is like, you feel bad doing it because you're like, sorry man, I actually have to read this, I don't know what it does. And if I proceed without knowing, I'm going to get burned for it. But I obviously know that I'm spending time reading the cards. Which, typical Yu-Gi-Oh shit, like encouraging players not to read the cards.
I think this is a perfect time to allow people to use those one-up cards where it's like if you reduce your opponent's life point to 0, you win the match.
Yeah.
Blue Eyes Dark Magician cards that they print for like special occasions.
Yeah.
Victory Dragon.
Coming back.
Type shit.
Yeah, Victory Dragon is coming back.
No, for real. But the clauses, you can only play them in game 3.
Yeah.
Holy.
Imagine getting deck check at a big event.
And you can only summon them when there's 5 minutes left on the clock.
That's gonna be the new format direction. Could you imagine just turn 3 specific cards?
Yeah.
Like engines? Holy shit.
It's an interesting thing too, because when we played tourney here like a few nights ago, I was playing against Chad. Chad hasn't played in a while, and I was playing Draco Tail, which is a deck he's not familiar with yet. So the process of like he's playing Blue Eyes grind deck, I'm playing a grind deck, having to explain what all my cards do, a few times. In a tournament, I say this is this. Set them. Fucking, if you misplay it, then I don't know. Sorry, should have known better.
Yeah.
Or like asked, but it's my buddy. I'm not gonna fucking shark and screw my buddy. Like, so I'm like, yeah, dude, this does this. By the time we're done our first match, it's been 45 minutes. And because we're trying to test with the new time rules, it's like I'm upset because now I get a game loss.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not upset at my friend.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
Like I got to there's an element of like, and this is the same thing like you said with new players, right? If a guy comes in who's playing Blue Eyes, like you played against a guy who like didn't know the lines and like was like, yo, what do I do? And you helped him, right?
Yeah.
But in the same breath, under these new time rules, I don't know, man. Pass turn. I go. When I work you, then we can meet up in the lobby.
I'll take you to school after.
I'll show you. Just write it down.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just one of those moments where you just gotta like put that to the side for a bit, like being just like a nice guy, be like, hey, we don't got time, buddy.
Not today. Bro, it's like you said, man. When we came back from the last CS, it's like, we should just go to locals, like in some like small town or something. Like an hour away, and just like walk in and like, you've played it. You said it. You can't bring it back. You searched that thing. You can't. You declared. No, it's over.
I told Andre and Matt this. I was like, man, if we go and practice at some of these, like, let's say Cold Lake or I don't know, Red Deer, right? You go to Red Deer locals.
Those guys were assholes.
Well, you just show up rocking like team shirts and everything. And they're like, yo, dude, don't let those guys come back again. Yeah, he was looking at the timer and be like, yo, are you done reading my card? Like,
yo, please play faster.
Wow.
Bro, but no, that's the mentality I take going into like regionals or any sort of event. I don't fucking know you, man. I don't care what you think about me after this. I'll shake your hand, we could be boys after this, but like, we're playing the game. Nah, bro, it's too late to go back. Nah. It was a game fight. No. Yo, I forgot to. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yo, can I activate this? No.
I love, dude, when even at local sometimes, when a guy like sit there and be like, oh, fuck, I fucked it up. You guys know, when we're here, I'm like, dude, go back.
Yeah.
Come on, like, let's make the ideal board state so that we get the testing knowledge of, like, what do I actually have to deal with? Well, locals, I'm like, damn. Today, some guy went, oh, I fucked that up. And I went, yeah.
The one time I was doing Sean, I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot to bring back Jet. I would have attacked for your life points. And he just looked at me.
Yeah.
And he just fucking drew his card. I was like, it doesn't matter. It's just the way it is. It's like, you just gotta learn the hard way because like, I ended up losing and it's just the way it goes. Like, I should have played it better. It's not like it's locals. Sean wasn't gonna be like, go back, whatever. Yeah. No, I said, end my turn. That's it. I left the battle phase. We're long gone now.
Mm-hmm. There's awkward ones too where it's like SP, you go end phase, and then the guy will draw a card and go, oh, fuck, we forgot to.
Yeah.
In those cases, like, it's the onus is actually on both players to like remember it.
Yeah.
So you can end up in like incorrect game states.
Yes.
And depending on how the judge rules it, you might have to go back, or you might just have to accept that your SP and whatever banish are not coming back.
Yeah, because it depends on like the ruling too. Because in those cases, like they have to come back. There's no like misplay. Because like for Jet, for example, like that's an option to activate the effect.
But okay, so say like they go SP.
Yeah.
Pass turn.
Yeah.
They come back, and then we forget to bring them back. I start doing my whole turn. We get to say battle phase, He goes, "Oh fuck, dude, the SP and the thing, it's too late."
Yeah.
Like
At
if
this
it's called
point,
for
yeah.
judge, it'd be okay, accepted game state. Too much has happened in the reality where they never came back to go back
Yeah.
to when they would have.
Yeah.
Because like I've shown you my fucking deck at this
Yes.
point, you know.
Now here's an interesting one, and it happens quite often, more often than not. Being that we've all played Dragon decks, Magnemite.
Yeah.
If I'm at a like regional
Yeah,
level or
yeah,
YCS,
yeah.
and my opponent goes, "Oh, whatever," I'm like end phase. They're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah," they like draw, and then they continue to play.
Yeah.
And then they're like, or let's say they even draw, and like, "Oh, I forgot to search Magnemite." I'm like, technically the resolve window was in the end phase.
Yep.
You've now missed it.
Yes.
Yep.
You've missed your timing. And
Yep.
then my opponent's like, "Well, come on, man." I'm like, "This is
Here's the
this is
thing,
regional, dude. I'm sorry."
Don't get fucking sharp, because
Yeah.
I've had that exact same thing happen to me, and I've been on the receiving end of it, like when I was playing Malice for a long time. Just forget to resolve Magnemite, and you know what? When it was here, it'd be like, "Dude, fuck," and then you'd be like, "Yo, go ahead." I'd be like, "Nah." I have to accept that, like,
Yeah.
I'm fucking it up,
Yeah.
and it's one of those teaching moments. But then when it would happen to me, like against me, the guy would be like, "It's mandatory. Like, you have to search in the end phase. Like, the way it's worded. Call a judge then." Like, especially
Yeah.
if it's a squiddly guy.
Yeah.
I don't care, man. Like, bro, you missed the window. Like you said, you missed the window, it's over, bro. Like, accept a game state.
Because what is it? Doesn't Mirror Jade have a similar effect as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Where-
Mandatory. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
mandatory, and technically, if your opponent in a TCG game state misses that window, it's like foregone its timing.
But even like for Magnemite, you have to like declare that you're gonna add. Because if you don't, then
Yes,
You're not adding anything.
Yeah. No,
right.
you have to activate effect, right?
Yeah.
But then so much can happen between the two things.
yes.
But it is mandatory.
Yeah.
You have to add a dragon in the end phase.
Yeah. If you've activated the effect.
If
right?
you have, yeah. If they straight up forget to activate an effect,
Sorry.
depending on what the game is, I'm like, because that's cheating, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you like forget to do an effect,
Yeah.
that means you could be waiting to see if I have a card.
Yes.
So if you go, okay, you don't activate Magnemite,
Yeah.
and then you go, normal barrel or whatever searches,
Yeah.
and I ash it.
Yes.
Then you go, oh yeah, also Magnemite, fuck off.
Yeah.
No, dude.
Because you would have diverted where you asked.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. So then, in which case, then like that's why like you have to declare like yes, I'm going to activate Magnemite effect. Because if you don't say that like Magnemite effect end phase, if you don't like say something like that, I'm just gonna assume you're not doing it, and then because that's it.
There's a lot of cards too. Any card that like has an effect on res, and like the Draco Tales, a lot of them that set from deck are this way, where set a card from deck, then you can do this. So I set a card from deck, like, okay, and I'm popping this, and they go, no, it's too late.
Yeah.
The window to respond to that was in the chain.
Right.
It's too late to. So I'm negating your monster. I'm popping your backer or whatever. You should have read the card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like.
That's,
You had time. It's 5 more minutes, guys.
Exactly.
yeah.
Speaking
So like sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna jokingly say. Speaking of the bestials,
Oh
Yeah. So I mean, these are the old tins just for like storage for the new mega packs. I opened up a few of them, like a bundle case of 4 tuck boxes.
So how many in total? 12, right?
12 tuck boxes, 3 packs in each. So you got 36 packs, and yeah, I mean you can watch our video for it. Obviously, if it's not up by now, then it will be up. So just make sure to subscribe to the channel. You'll see the pack openings. And honestly, like some of these reprints, just absolutely fucking bullshit. Seriously, like it's actually like I don't get it. I don't understand why some of them are so difficult to get, like the Molcharmies, for example.
Let's break it down.
Let's break it down. So out of my whole thing, I got 1 Starlight SP Little Knight, 1 Starlight True Light, which is crazy because True Light I don't think is that much of a like it should be short printed, or at least in my bundle of boxes should have been that difficult to grab. It's True Light, right? But like I got 3 Retaliating Seas, I got 2 Phonics, I got like a bunch of doubles of like other Starlights that have no play. It's so terrible. And then I like very like necessary cards like SP that can be splashed in any deck. Barely got Imperm, barely didn't get at all. The secrets. Let's talk about those. I got 1 Dominus card and it was Impulse. No purges. I didn't get any of the Mulcharmies. And these are like staples for a current deck, and they're very expensive staples. Like the impulses, the purges, the Fulos still, despite the rarity collection, and the the Perulia, all like $20+ each in value. And I got one impulse between the two Dominus and the two Mulcharmy. I got the one impulse. No duplicates of either of them, and it's insane to me because now if I want to go play or get like Perulia, I'm gonna have to cough up $150 for a play set. You know, luckily I got myself I bought like one, but now I need two more, $100. I gotta put towards it. You know, if I didn't have Fulos, I gotta put like $60 to $100 for a play set. Impulse, same idea. You know what I mean? Like it's just insane that these cards that can be used for like any deck are so hard to get, and these are like Fulos should not have been as difficult to get because it's already gotten reprinted in the rarity collection and it came in its initial set last year.
Okay, can I be devil's advocate right here? Because something you said like stuck out to me. Perulia 2 weeks ago was $190.
Yeah.
Why are you upset? Now that you got to pay $150.
It's still $150.
Okay, that's the correct answer.
Yeah, right? Like it's still so much. $150 for 3 pieces of paper.
How many did you get in your display though?
I got 0.
So how much did you spend for the display?
$250.
Okay, so like theoretically, excusing the math,
$275 or whatever. Yeah.
Excusing the math of like so the $150 plus your $275, right there you're at almost $425. Just to guarantee you get a playset.
Yes.
So I hear where your math is coming from.
Yes.
At the same time, I see Matt's side where it's like, yes, technically the card has slowly gone down for now.
Yes.
Right? We talk about Fool Loss. The card is a $20 super.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So people that are looking in these tins to get a Fool Loss, worst idea ever. Right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But
Just
like,
get the rarity collection.
The Perulia, it's unfortunate that it had its original printing in Infinite.
Yes.
Then it got reprinted in
Maze?
Yes. Yes. Maze.
No, Perulia was Maze.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, yeah.
Perulia's next printing was Rarity 4 or
Yes.
3?
Yeah, it was in its initial.
Four.
Yeah, so it's initial in Infinite Forbidden.
Yeah.
And then it got reprinted in Maze. And then this is its most recent reprint.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're all secret rares that are extremely hard to get.
Yeah.
And it's not even the best one out of them all.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay, right?
The Fulos or the Perulia?
Perulia.
Well,
It's better than Meowth, but like...
Yes. Yeah, for
fact
sure.
that, like,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like if you're a collector and you spend $275 and you're still trying to play competitively, you have to spend the extra bulk to get it.
That's okay. So I wanna expand this conversation too because it's a piss off.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're at all like a player or an enjoyer of the game, you're familiar with like OCG printing and how people like clamor for that all the time. Now, what's frustrating is last week a set came out. It's the World Championship set.
Yeah.
There are cards in there that were not only already reprinted, but are no longer like meta viable in some cases.
Yeah.
But also, I understand the World Pack being like, over the last year, these are the big guys, right? Okay, but why are they coming in the same rarity that they already came in?
Yeah.
When you look at Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, or Ultimate Spirit Dragon, the level 12 Synchro, right? It's secret in the fucking the starter deck.
Yeah.
Why print it again as a secret?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, if you're printing these cards where it's like, hey, what a year we had, make them fucking like high rarity.
Yeah.
Don't give me how many cards were in a pack? 4?
Yeah.
Give me 1.
Yeah.
Give me 1 as a fucking Starlight.
Yeah.
And I'll take it.
Yeah.
Because at least I'm getting something that I didn't already have.
Yeah.
Don't give me a card that was a secret originally in this World Pack as an Ultra.
Yeah.
Cause why?
Yeah.
Like, especially if it's that card.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, this wasn't a hard card to get in the first place.
Yeah.
Giving me a rarity downgrade isn't very helpful.
Yeah.
Because if I wanted that card, I would already have it.
Yeah.
And it's not as if like we are balancing out the metagame by giving everybody access to Ultimate Spirit Dragon.
Yeah. Right. It's a structure deck card.
So like, those are still on shelves. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so there's that.
Yeah.
Then why are there cards in that world set that were also in the OTS pack.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. Maybe there's no communication between the OTS and this. Okay, also, why were those cards now in the fucking tin?
Yeah. Yeah.
As lower rarities.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Malice Cryptor makes sense. It came out as an Ultra.
Yeah.
In that set that it came out, there was no secret rares. Okay? Now, in the World set, hey, what a year we had. Cryptor, pretty good card, right?
Yeah.
And we know you guys have been loyal to the deck. Like, you know, here's a Starlight. You know, here's a secret rare. Pretty cool. Euro printings, right? Yeah, okay. Also, it's a common. But what? Why? Like, who still needs the card?
Yeah.
Because we just got it as a secret rare.
Yeah.
Meaning the ultra rares from the original have gone down. Side note, they're 50 cents. So, so who needs a cheaper cryptor than 50 cents?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's say that's a one-off of the tins. Why am I getting commons that sit on the table at locals that people don't want because it's not worth the hassle of sorting the cards?
Yeah.
Why are they being reprinted in the tins?
Yeah.
Nobody wanted it
Yeah.
as a common.
Yeah.
Now, if you rarity bumped it, maybe the few sickos who are playing Splitting Planarian would pick it up.
Yeah.
You know, but why?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
it makes little to no sense. Okay, like, if you change the rarity on something, it came out as a common in the tin, now you get an upgrade. Hey!
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want the common voiceless voice trap as an ultra? Sure, I do, because I play voiceless voice. Do I want it as a common again? Is anybody short on the fucking voiceless card? Is there a need?
Yeah.
Like, what? What are we doing? There's, oh my god, dude. And like, okay, what is the point of bumping something from super to ultra? It already exists.
Yeah.
But then you're skipping a whole card that only came out as a common.
Yeah.
So now I have ultras of the voiceless core. Okay, cool. I needed the ritual spell. I still don't have the trap. When am I going to get the trap as a hollow?
Yeah.
But we skipped it to reprint Blessing and Old Man. Why? Like,
You know what's funny? Next year, 2026, Megatins. All those cards that didn't come as foils last year.
Yeah.
but they won't though. They don't.
No,
like,
they won't. You know, I'll even speak from the store point because, you know, like, we have our friends at CVG that own there, and then I have a buddy out in BC who owns the store.
Yep.
And, like, he said one of the hardest things about Konami's reprints is, like, the tins aside, what it does in the TCG is it actually just, like, has their shelves collect dust.
Yeah.
Because, like, he has boxes of sets from, like, before that, like, don't move now.
Yeah.
yes.
Because, like, and this is why if you look on Marketplace now, you'll see a lot of stores that are liquidating a lot of their old product because, like, there's nothing valuable in it anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? They get slammed into the ground with reprint, so it's like, why would I open up a set of, like, Phantom Nightmare when half the cards are in here is
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
commons?
Not only that, they were in the fucking World Championship back for some, like.
So I think like if I try to put myself in Konami's shoes to some degree, like so when, for example, Perulia, right? It's obviously a hard card to come by in the prior sets, and they're thinking, oh, this is a pretty popular card or a sought after card. Let's give it like a slight rarity upgrade. It has a QCR, it has a collector rare, ultra rare, and it's just secret rare. And now in the tins or in the tuck boxes, like the 20-25 packs, it has a prismatic secret. Now they could have made that a Starlight. But, like, that's besides the point. It gives them now room to make that Starlight down the road, which they probably will because it is a sought-after card.
Sure.
The thing is it got printed, it has 4 different rarities. Like I said, Collector Rare and Ultra, which is in the same set, and then the Secret and the QCR, which is in the same set.
Yep.
It's like, okay, well, you know it's a sought-after card, so make it an Ultra at least, so that way it's still somewhat easier to get.
Yes.
People are going to be more inclined to buy this box or these cases to get the Perulia, right? I know that it's like a good card and people want it. Like, why would you downgrade its like rarity or keep it kind of the same from like one of its reprints? It's because it's a staple that everybody can use, and it makes playing it like everyone can play. You can throw that card into any deck and play it. It doesn't become like a super expensive card that people can't get. And to be honest with you, it probably will still hold quite a bit of value too. I think, casual Yu-Gi-Oh players, or just like any Yu-Gi-Oh competitive player, doesn't care about the value of a card when it's like, if it becomes affordable. Meaning like when SP got reprinted, the only people that got upset because SP got reprinted is the ones that like had to spend X amount, like so much on it.
Sure.
But if you can now buy that card for like $15, $5, people are gonna be okay with that because like I can now play a meta relevant card for a lot cheaper.
Okay, sorry, but what is the objective? Is it to make cards that were hard to come by, given that they chose to print them as secret rares, right? In SP's case, so we get SP. It comes as a QCR. It comes as a secret. Later on, in the tins of last year, they reprint it as a prismatic secret.
Yes.
Okay. Hardly a different rarity than its first printing.
Yes.
Sure, you can say it is, whatever, but it's short printed.
Yeah.
So not only is it harder to pull than its first printing, but now people who finally are going to get a second chance at acquiring one have to buy so much product without the guarantee.
Yeah.
There's never a guarantee, but without so much as a hope, a sniff at actually getting an SP Little Knight, right? Okay. Then people do that because they really need the card. Vendors buy a bunch of tins because they know people need the card. And then weeks, maybe a month later, they announce it's getting every rarity reprint in Rarity 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So now your SP Prismatic is now worth way less than it should have been.
Yeah.
Also, you're out for however much, if you're a vendor, you're out for however much money you spent on getting tins. Because people don't fucking want these tins anymore.
Yeah.
Because now they'll just wait a couple months, I guess, for their SP, right? So that sucks. Now we have it in every rarity.
Yeah.
Now they're printing it again. But for what? For the few players who didn't get it as a QCR, who still want it in ultra shiny rarity.
Yeah.
Starlight Rare. Now it's coming as that.
Yeah.
Now it's a chase card.
Yeah.
Now it's short printed.
Yeah.
So
at no point was SP like given to the community. There's been 2 examples of its reprinting that were just as a means to artificially create a demand for this product.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It doesn't make it like more accessible.
Yeah.
It just makes it so that like
there's another chance of getting it.
Yeah, there's like
it's not a high chance.
Carrot on a stick in front of your face kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not real. Like buying a tin this year to get a Perulia is not real.
Yeah.
Like you might get one, yeah. Obviously, anytime you buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you're gambling, right?
Yes.
But it feels in such bad faith because if you buy a box of Rarity 3, you might get one.
Yeah.
You might get 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You might be good.
Yeah.
You might get 2 or 3 of other good cards too, right?
Yeah. It was a good set.
Yeah. Rarity 3 or Rarity 4 to get your Fuas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you get a playset of them, you're good.
Yeah.
You spent your $90.
Yeah.
You would have spent that on one of them a week ago.
Yeah.
Yo, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And in 3 months from now, these are actually going to go up in value somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But that's not the case with tins.
No.
With tins, it's like you might get 1 SP. In my case, I still wouldn't have bought another tin.
Yeah.
I pulled this morning an Imperm in one pack, and my next card, my next secret was Impulse.
Yeah.
So Imperm and Impulse. Yo, I'm up. I'm way up.
Yeah.
And even then, I would not buy another one because I know the chances of me pulling a good card is so low. I just watch you open 36 packs.
Yeah.
And it's like, most of those cards, I wouldn't pay over $5 for.
Yep.
Because I either have them,
Yeah.
I don't need the ultra shiny version,
Yep.
because they've already reprinted it.
Yes.
And the chances of me actually getting one
Yeah.
are so thin that I'm just going to be wasting money.
Might cancel my order on Friday.
I'm scared.
Honestly, so like there is like a bunch of different avenues to look at this, right? Those chase cards, Imperm, SP, the blue eye stuff. There are people out there who want to max radiator decks.
Yes.
I'm one of those people, right?
Yes.
Like, if I can, I will at a very affordable price. So that's why like SP getting a Starlight, that's awesome. That's great. I already have tons of SPs. But this one's a Starlight. Now I don't have to worry about trying to max out by getting a QCR that's $300-400. Great, right? Tyrant Dragon never had a QCR. The True Light never really had a really nice shiny printing. So like the cards like that, like it kind of makes sense. But then it's like, where do you draw the line with some of these cards? Because there's some like Starlights where like, who wants a Retaliating Seed as a Starlight, right? Like what other card could have been better? Probably Lubellion. Yes, we had it as a QCR, but that's a more viable card, right?
Yes.
We could have had Chaos Angel. That's a very good extra deck card.
Which also has no QCR.
Exactly, and that's like Kashira cards. That could have been a Starlight too,
no QCRs.
right? No QCR either. So these are cards that could have been much better Starlights than some of these other options that are in the tins. And like some of them, like, 'cause when they pick these cards, they know that they're fan favorites, right? They're sought after. They're either
that's the biggest piss off part of it, though.
yes, because they're major staples, and then there's some that are just like, oh, there's some fan group out there that plays this deck in a weird way once in a while, so we'll give it a Starlight, right? It's kind of it's what they do with like the rarity collection, the nostalgia cards. Some of those nostalgia cards are actually bullshit for being like in the slot. It's like there's some terrible.
Roxanne, I'm looking at you. Okay, you put Petite Moth in there.
Like even that has like collectible aspects. Because it's a card in the show.
I opened up a case and I got so many of those fucking things. I'm sorry.
No. You're right.
But like for real though, there's so many other cards, like nostalgia cards that just weren't printed. Bro, we didn't get like Time Wizard, we didn't get Baby Dragon, we didn't get Thousand Dragon, Dark Sage. These are like none of like Pegasus Toon cards were really reprinted.
That's
like
true.
Toon Blue Eyes, like a lot of them were not reprinted. Like these are. There's some cards that just like should have gotten reprinted that did not, right? And like now we're talking about the rarity collection, but back to even the tins, right? Like so cards that changes the level of play in terms of like the meta game should be easier accessible. So Perulias, the Impulses.
Yes.
So the thing with the Impulse and the Purges, this is actually technically the first reprints.
Yeah.
So them being a Prismatic Secret kind of makes sense because it's the first time they're being reprinted since they came out. That was the same thing with the SP.
Sure.
Because that SP came out in AGOV with the QCR and then it came out the Prismatic Secret.
Yeah, but that was fucked up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like it kind of makes sense because this was it was a big card in the metagame and this is the first time it's being reprinted. So here's a Prismatic Secret. Sure, sought after card, very viable. Let's give it a slight upgrade. And then they reprint again a rarity collection, which is fine because now it's in the rarity collection, you can just get it more easily.
Yes.
So now Perulia, we don't get another rarity collection, like unless that's like going to be a new thing, or they're going to give us like some bulk box pretty much where you get a bunch of everything. Unless they're going to do that, then Perulia being hard to get in this set is going to be very frustrating. Fulos, again, it's really easy to get in the Bonanza set or like Stampede, whatever set. So make it also accessible in this set. Don't make it like a very short printed card because in that case, I'd rather just pull a Purge or an Impulse that are short printed. Like make those more like accessible through the Prismatic Secrets.
Yes.
And then cards like Shining Sarcophagus, no reason for it to be a Starlight because it was already a QCR, and no one's really chasing that card. No one's like, oh, I want Shining Sarc. It's like,
well, those sorry, but those two things you said are complete opposites of each other. You're saying they know that things are fan favorites.
Yes.
They know that things are meta viable.
Yeah.
Then why the fuck are they printing Shining Sarc cards that already? If they know that Shining Sarc, no offense, man, not the most meta viable deck.
Yeah.
But it has QCRs.
Yeah.
You are like not like you bling out your decks, right?
Yeah.
You're willing to get a QCR.
Yeah.
Not everybody's on the same level, sure.
Yes.
But the people who are can and do.
Yes.
But it's not $400 to do.
Yeah.
Right? So because it's a niche deck, because it has little to no meta viability, getting QCRs of those are not going to break the bank.
Yeah.
Meaning there's no reason to now tank the value of those QCRs if there was any.
Yes.
More so to give a card that not many nobody really wants.
Right? You're like, oh cool, I got a Shining Sarc card.
Now you have the thing where you have 3 of each.
Yeah.
Highest rarity that the game produces.
Yes.
You have 6 copies of them.
Yeah.
And guess what? Good luck trying to fucking.
Yeah. So like I have 2 QCR Shining Sarc and 2 Starlight Shining Sarc.
Yeah.
What, what am I gonna do with it? So luckily, like
You put 'em in a
because like
case,
my
just,
OCD is like, okay, well, I don't want to run 2 QCR, 1 Starlight, or
Right.
2 Starlight, 1 QCR. So thankfully, Dan's got a Starlight, so I can run 3 Starlights.
Sure.
But then, like, that's the other thing that's gonna piss me off is like my other like max rarity of those cards are QCRs.
Oh, now they don't match.
So they won't match.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, but if it's like the only printing high rarity of that card was like a QCR or a Starlight, like if Shining Stark didn't come as a QCR and Starlight was the highest, then fine, it makes sense. Like I don't have another option for a high rarity. Now I got the option between QCR and Starlight. So like if I'm going to run QCRs in my deck, I may as well use the QCR Shining Stark. Now, what they could have done is not every card in Shining Sarcophagus got a QCR. So the cards that didn't get a QCR should have just got a Starlight.
Oh, he's
so,
cooking.
So Turn
he's
Silence should have been a QCR.
Exactly.
Right? Like, that's what it is. And like even some of like the Raizu cards, like Dual Drive, a common, dude, that was such one of the most played cards ever. That should have been a secret, like a Prizz secret.
Yeah.
It's not hard to get in this set because it's an Ultra, so you can get Dual Drive for a very solid price as a single, or just open the box and you'll get it. So in the 10s, that should have got a rarity upgrade. So then, Perulia, Fulos, rarity downgrade because we already had them with the secrets and hard to get, and they're meta viable. Raizu is like, yeah, if you really want to play Raizu, you can buy the prior box, or you can chase for the higher rarity in these tins, right? Make it that way. Like, it would have just makes more sense that way, right? Like, they're just the weird way of picking and choosing what gets a higher rarity and doesn't.
It's
like,
so arbitrary. There's
doesn't.
no rhyme or reason to it.
No, there isn't, because, like, Raizu's popular, and Dual Drive is very, like a mandatory card for the deck. So why did that not get a prismatic secret?
You know what? Sorry, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's kind of interesting that we're talking about this and how we're segueing with between this and the rarity. I kind of want to go back to what I was saying earlier, and like again, you know, like Konami, I love your game. Yes. Like, please show us the love back. You know, like please.
I love you back, please.
We're in this like psychotic relationship right now. I keep spending money on you.
Unreciprocated, man.
So,
unrequited love, man.
You know, like in the back of my head as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, I have to remember that Konami makes gambling machines.
Yeah.
And all this other stuff.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So, again, when I go back to it, and like, let's be fair, like, if we look at the track record, like, Konami hasn't always been transparent about their initial plans. Let's go back to last year. You talk about the last year's tents, right?
Yes.
SP comes out in it, and everybody's chasing these cards.
Yes.
And they're like, oh my gosh, I
Finally,
need to get these.
I can get my SP.
Yeah, right? And Konami's like, oh yeah, guys, this is awesome. And what they did, very sneakishly, is they didn't announce till like the last minute the size of the set.
Yes.
Right? And then all of a sudden it's like, guys, there's a 400 card set. And it's like,
those are 400 cards for you guys.
yeah. And they're like, shit, like, now how hard is it to get a thrust to get SP?
Yes, Thrust, another exact same
one.
situation, yeah.
And then, and we got that one actually before in Maze of whatever, is when Thrust got reprinted.
It came out in Rarity, Rarity 3.
No, before that. It came out in the Maze of Millennium, yeah. And then it got like put in the tins. And then Konami went really dead quiet all of a sudden. Yeah. And then all of a sudden this QCR Stampede came out, right? And then they started releasing all these cards, and I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Now, Thrust is reprinted in multiple sets. Now, all of a sudden, SP's out there. All these other crazy cards to push that set. Yeah. We kind of went quiet, whatever, it is what it is. And then this year, they kind of did, and this is why I'm watching them very carefully, is because they did the same thing this year. All of a sudden, then we got QCR Stampede, which is the last time we're getting any QCRs.
Bonanza, right?
Bonanza, yeah, sorry. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I hear you guys. Okay, last time we're getting QCRs. Done. And one of their staple things in QCR Stampede, Bonanza is that they said is, we have never reprinted a QCR until this date, and we vouch that we will not do it going forward. That was part of the selling point of Bonanza.
Yeah,
right. We've never reprinted it, so we're not going to do it. That's why you got cards like Diabellstar the Black Witch. You got like a bunch of cards that were QCRs that didn't come back as QCRs. Yeah. They came back as Platinums. Right. So we're like, okay, cool. This isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
A couple months later, they're like, guys, this is Alliance Insight. This is the last set to get a QCR, so make sure you grab them. We're like, oh, cool, whatever. March Hairs, all this other stuff, right? And then after that, they're like, hey guys, actually, we're printing this new set, Monster Mayhem, and the Starlights are back. And you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you got King of the Furlimps as a Starlight. You're like, huh, interesting. Whatever, right? Rocket. Then Duelist Advance comes out, and we get reprints of I think it was Duelist Advance. No, Duelist Advance had... I don't think they reprinted any Starlights. It was just they kept with the trend.
Yeah.
But, and here's the kicker, which you were talking about, the tins come out. And now we got Shining Stark stuff that was a QCR.
Yeah.
But Konami kept their word. They didn't reprint QCRs as QCRs. They switched them to Starlights.
Yes.
Right? So where I'm going with this is...
Which is the same, sorry to cut you off, but just to add, is the same thing with Starlights. As they said they weren't reprinting Starlights, and then they reprinted those cards as QCRs. So, if you got the Exodia Starlights, whatever, 3-4 years ago, so much money.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a collector, you sit on those.
Yeah. I think they're like $1,000 set.
Yeah, then people are selling Exodia QCRs for $1.
Yep.
Yeah, from the tins last year.
Yep.
So your Starlight's not worth fuck all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you go from sitting on thousands of dollars of these 5 cards to now they're worth pennies.
Yeah.
Because Konami kind of fucked you.
Right.
But sorry.
So sorry, just to add to like Matt's point. So like, obviously the prices are based off the community's like mindset, right? So tins, the way you can get those QCRs, they're guaranteed. They're very easy to get. So that's why the QCR Exodia cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
Starlights. The thing is like they were expensive, like $1,000 set.
Yeah.
Now it just drops their price like heavy. Still very expensive because it's technically the highest rarity because of how difficult it is to get, right?
Yeah.
So like if
supply and demand.
Yeah. So despite having a QCR,
what would you rather have? Like, be honest.
Starlight
Of Exodia?
Oh yeah, honestly, it just wouldn't matter to be honest with you because I don't care about the stamp.
I don't play it.
Meaning, you would rather have QCRs because if it doesn't matter to you,
so
you're
the
going to
cheaper
pay
option
for the dollar cards.
Yes, so I would rather have a cheaper option. Yes, so like in which case, so for example, like this Starlight SP versus QCR SP.
Exactly.
It's like that switch because like it's Starlight Exodia, which is way more expensive than QCR Exodia, but then QCR SP is way more expensive than the Starlight SP.
Yeah, it just matters like
it's
what
just
happened
how
first.
hard it is. Yeah, what happened first?
It's
and
the mindset of what people consider to be like the original.
Because usually the original secret arts of a card is more expensive than the prismatic secrets for whatever reason.
Yes,
Like, it's a weird thing. But yeah, like the Starlight QCR, it's like typically people are like, oh, you know, Starlight's like when Dragoon got reprinted, for example. It was like, oh, okay.
He was in the Megatins, wasn't he?
He was in the Megatins as well.
Megatins and Rarity too.
Yeah, and then he was in another set before that, or after that. I think before or after the Tins as an ultra rare or something like that, or just a secret.
I got a weird reprint because originally he was printed in the Tins. He was an exclusive, wasn't he?
It might have been just the Tins, and then a set after that, and then he got like a Starlight in that same set where he came out in the ultra. And then he came out in the Rarity collection as a QCR, but then the Starlight's like $200. It's still like holds a pretty good value. And then the QCR is like under $100, I think. So it's just the Starlight came first. That's still more expensive than the QCR. But then, you know, you got QCR SP that's more expensive than the Starlight. So I guess it's like it is like a whatever comes first. Because even the SP is still probably pretty hard to get. But tins are definitely they're just newer and easier to come by as opposed to those boxes where you're spending $90 for a box. Yeah. That's why it becomes like a community based like pricing thing too, because as a community we could easily just make Starlight SP more expensive than the QCR one. It's also considering like how much we spent to get that card.
Yes.
For example, you buy a box like a golf set.
Yeah, it all boils down to supply and demand. If
Yeah.
a vendor's got to pay, 4 cases will get you 1 SP, guaranteed. Well, then there's less of them. People still want them just as much as they did.
Yeah.
For me, I'm spending more money to get it to you.
Yeah.
The price goes way up.
But then it's like even like a box compared to a tin.
Yeah.
I have to get one egg golf box to probably get maybe get the QCR SP. That's a $90 box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a $20 tin. And then I can get a Starlight. It's like, well,
no stamp on it.
Exactly. So like, I just spent a third of the price to get basically the same rarity, and then it's like,
that's what people see. That is as the baseline walk into a card shop consumer, right? Mm-hmm. In order to give yourself a good chance at getting the QCR, you probably buy a box, right?
Yes.
In reality, you can't buy less than 3 mega packs.
Yeah.
So you're spending $20 no matter what.
Yes.
Technically,
Yes.
you could go and get a pack of AGUV.
Yeah.
If the store still carries it.
Yeah.
And you might get a QCR SP.
Yeah.
So the gamble is less of a risk buying a pack.
Yeah.
Obviously, but you're going to pull a super that's absolute ass.
Yes.
And,
like the number, like the
yes.
ratio, whatever.
This has a
percentage.
guaranteed Starlight in it.
Yes.
Which changes things for sure.
Yes. That's the other thing. It's guaranteed.
Yes.
So if these tins were like 1 per case of a Starlight,
But it's also perceived value because I sold Starlights to people today for 50 cents.
yes,
Just because I didn't want them.
yeah,
DD designator and shit. Maybe that'll bite me in the ass, but
Yeah.
I don't really
I don't
care.
think
I have friends who are vendors, and I'm like, hey, it's better for you to have this than for
Yeah.
me because I don't need it.
yeah,
But if the super rare I pulled from the AGO set is also a 50-cent card, and the Starlight I get from this guaranteed is 50 cents,
yeah,
then what?
Yeah.
Is the actual value any different? No.
Yeah.
It's perceived value because it's a shinier card.
Yeah.
And then if the card becomes super playable,
Yeah.
super necessary in a meta strategy, then the Starlight will go way up.
Yes.
Yes, but so the same is true of that super.
Yeah.
If it's good enough
Look at Umbrella.
type shit.
Yeah, that's
If it's good enough to be meta viable, like to your point,
Yeah.
it's community driven, these cards.
Yeah.
Right? There's a reason why Metaltronus, I got my playset for $1.50, and whoever else, when the card was very playable in the metagame, because you have to get rid of Detonator, they had to pay $40 for their playset.
yeah,
The card hasn't changed. It's still a super rare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because supply and demand, more people want the card. There's
Yeah.
less of the card to go around.
Yep.
Or you have to open product to try and get the card.
Yeah.
So this brings me into the next point that I was getting into with these, and I'm glad that you guys are fired up because this is really gonna stoke this even more. So you know the trend that I keep going on where as much as we love Konami and we keep feeding this machine, it's like they haven't again going back to hey guys, we're never gonna reprint something as a QCR.
Right.
All of a sudden now we got Starlight reprints. Hey guys, we're not going to change time rules.
Yeah.
All of a sudden time rules got changed. My forecast here is, and Konami also, they look like the heroes. Because for so long players were, man, I really wish these cards were affordable and I wish we had access to these cards and man, blah, blah, blah. So now Konami's absolutely flooded the market, which brings me to the last point here. They know how much rarity sets sell for.
yeah.
So what is genuinely stopping them from in a couple months dropping a little rarity set?
Because
that
they
has
said they
half of
wouldn't
these-
wait.
Whoa, that's crazy! I thought we were playing 50-minute time rules today. I thought they
No,
were going to do that.
But here's the thing. Right, yeah.
No, they very well can drop a rarity collection set because it's just instead of QCR, it's a Starlight.
It's Starlight.
Yeah, and they just can't call it rarity set because that would be going back on their word. Right?
Exactly.
They can print you a QCR again. They just won't put the stamp on it and the lettering's not gold. So
Yeah, exactly.
you're fine.
So-
Because the other ones were marked as 25th anniversary.
Yes.
I think were they all 4 like that, or was it just the
All 4.
first one?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
All 4.
they just have to do some sort of different high rarity collection or some bullshit like that.
Okay, but the question is, and I don't have the answers for this. Konami's a public company. You can pull up their earnings and stuff. I don't know if it gets specific enough to set releases. Right? We know Duad was a flop.
Yeah.
That is going to sit on shelves for the next 5 years until stores liquidate that shit.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm not even picking it up then.
Yeah.
That set's trash.
Yeah.
When Sue gets hit the one, that set is going to be they're going to have to pay you to take it out.
Yeah.
But I wonder how Konami views the rarity sets because obviously they spend more money to make them because they're printing all hollows.
Yeah.
Now, if those margins are minimal, we're talking fractions of pennies for them to print something as a common versus even a QCR, right? I wonder what the actual because to their point, they put those chase cards in so you buy more product.
Yeah.
But when you pull, you go and you buy that one pack, and you happen to get the QCR SP Little Knight, they don't make more money off of that.
Yeah.
Right? So I wonder if with rarity sets, they're less incentivized to do them because like their profits are less. If they sell the exact same amount of product as they did for Infinite Forbidden, as they do for Rarity 2, they make less money because it costs them more to make that set.
That makes sense.
What they have to do and why they put good printable cards in there, like cards that people want, is to get more sales. Because they know if they don't put SP in here, the amount of money they spent printing everything as a Starlight Rare means they're going to get less sales. It's going to sit on shelves, or stores are going to buy less of it. Vendors are going to buy less of it. Then they're not going to make as much money on the product. The way that it works more so is that, like, when a flop like Duad happens, Konami might not actually feel that loss until 3 or 4 sets from now. Because a store, like your buddy, like our buddies who run CBG, like, you buy, or more so like vendors, you buy Duad. Duad sells like shit. You can't move it off the stores. Stores take that loss. Yeah. It's the brick and mortar stores that are like, fuck, we can't sell this product. We paid what we normally pay for a main set for it, but it's not moving. They take that loss. What ends up happening, the only way Konami actually feels that loss is when the store goes, I can't afford to keep Yu-Gi-Oh! In the store anymore. It doesn't sell. So for stores like ours, where that's not an issue, right? It'll never be an issue because the turnout for Yu-Gi-Oh! At that stores is the biggest turnout they get, right? It's different when you, again, we're comparing Konami to other manufacturers of card games and how they fuck us, right? Like,
not even taking us for dinner.
type shit. But like this type of shit doesn't happen in other card spaces because like a brick and mortar store will never be like, I can't afford to keep Magic the Gathering. Now, when your main player base is Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, maybe that's the case. If you buy a Magic set and nobody buys it because you don't host Magic events, that's a different story, right? But there are a lot of stores, like even in our city, that have Yu-Gi-Oh! Product but don't host Yu-Gi-Oh! Events. When those stores buy Duad and they can't move it, those stores are not buying sets next year. In the next quarter, because most of the stuff is already paid for. It just has to ship. That's when you go to those stores, like the comic book stores, the like just kind of like nerdy merch stores. And you're like, hey, do you guys have Yu-Gi-Oh? And they're going to be like, no, we stopped carrying it. As that becomes more commonplace, then Konami's going to be like, oh, people don't like in-person Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. Let's focus more of our attention on Master Duel, right? But it sucks for the player base, where like, to somebody who plays this game, maybe just at their kitchen table, that comic book store was the way that they bought cards. Even though they didn't have casual tourneys there or whatever, that was their into Yu-Gi-Oh! Now they're cut off from the game because you release a shitty set like Duad, and now everyone's just kind of fucked from it.
You know, and like to Matt's point here, and this is why I stand on what I say about the Rarity 5, we'll call it, right? Like if you look at the shelves, ironically, out of all 4 of them, there's only one set that sits on the shelf.
Rarity 2.
Right? 1, gone. Rarity 3, gone. 4, gone. Like, I've managed to keep one of every single set of rarities that are still locked up in the safe right now. And like, anytime I go to a place and I find one that has rarity, I buy it. Because like, the amount of value that those 1, 3, and 4 have is crazy. Right? And Konami, like, they're not dumb. They know. When they see Rarity 2 that's not moving and like store shelves have it, if they come up with a set of Rarity 5, now hypothetically speaking, and I'll just ask both of you guys genuinely, if there was a Rarity set and they had Impulse in there and every Rarity, would you buy it?
Yes. Absolutely. And that's what it would be.
Right, so
I already have the card.
If they would have dropped a Rarity 5 this year, Perulia's on there. Impulse, Purge, Songs going to be on there. And then a lot of any of the Raizu Mouse is going to be on there. Probably the stuff from the K9 Draco Tail. Because if you compare it to like Info last year, we had Fiendsmith like mid-year. That was also all in the...
Included in the Rarity.
Not all, but most like...
The ones that were not affordable were included in your affordable set.
Yes. So like it's... that's what we would see if there was a 5th one. The 5th... Like this upcoming... Like if there was another Rarity collection, fucking insane. It'd make this shit look like nothing.
And that's why... Konami has, like, in the last couple of years, they have this tendency. They love to print these, like, excuse the French, but we'll call them cucking sets to
Yes.
get everybody excited,
Yes.
and they're like, "Oh my god, like I can maybe pull a dominance
Yeah.
impulse,"
Yeah.
and like we all go out there, we buy our display boxes,
Yep.
and then we pull dog water,
Yep.
and then we wait another month, and they're like, "Guys, actually,
It's all
there's
here."
a reprint set here," and like
Ghost Sister and Spooky Dog Water.
yeah, or like Ghost One already got reprinted, but like, yeah, exactly, and they start printing these cards, and all of a sudden it's like, oh man, why did I spend $270 on these things? Like
Type shit.
last
Feels
year,
bad.
that was one of my biggest things. Is like, luckily I was doing okay at work, but like I think it was last year. Yeah, I bought I bought a case of these. My buddy bought a case, and then my other buddy bought a case, and the whole deal was like, we were gonna swap out all the QCRs so that my one buddy could get a play set, and we would all get the prismatic secret rares.
Sure.
And like, I remember, first of all, I'm so glad they switched out these tins. I have so many of these fucking tins at my house. It's not even funny. But second of all, it was like, you had to open up 4 cases to get a playset of all the QCRs.
Yeah.
And like, we talk about this year's Starlights being dog water. Last year, you were getting gadget trios.
Yeah,
like red
yeah,
gadget,
yeah,
green
yeah,
gadget,
yeah.
and yellow gadget.
But
Yes.
it's the thing too. It's
But
like
that one, you knew what you were getting because it was like a lot of it was just nostalgic. They weren't like sought after QCRs.
well, that's where
Besides
SP
the
was.
Blue Eye.
Yeah, SP was a prismatic.
Prismatic, but you want.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like, but they're different rarities though, right? Like,
Yeah, that's true, that's true, that's
for
true.
Your SP, and then your QCR, your guaranteed QCR was like all the ones that this. You knew what you were gonna get. You knew you were getting these ones.
You knew you
so
were
it's like
getting garbage.
So what you were hoping for was the Dark
secret.
Magician Girl and the Blue Eyes for the money.
Okay.
But other than that, you knew what you were gonna get between all these other ones because they told you. For
Funny about how
for
the
this,
Sharks band now too.
sorry.
Sharks band now too.
Yeah. But like with this set or with the 2025 mega packs with those Starlights, it's like those ones are just a little bit different because you just have a mix of older cards. Like, it is just a dumbed down rarity collection.
So-
because you're getting cards from the other sets as like a different rarity
But-
and a reprint.
Okay, I want to touch on this too, right? Like, what is the intent of a tin? Because
Now or before?
no, like to your best ability to explain it. If you were Konami,
Yeah.
when you put this product on the shelf,
Yeah.
what are you intending? Like when people come in, what are you intending? What do they see and what is their takeaway?
What I understand from it is last year's stuff
Mhm.
you can get now in this tin.
Okay.
So the best of what the favorites.
Then
of
why the fuck did you print the World Championship set? Because is that
Yeah,
not the same
yeah.
fucking thing? So you have 2 products
Yeah.
on the shelf
Yeah.
for the same price. And one of them has secret rares of all the stuff that was good this year. And what does the other one have?
It's got a stamp.
Fuck.
Oh, actually,
What
that's crazy.
are we doing?
Yeah.
You actually got better rarities, all they know? Oh. But yeah, that's 2 what you're saying.
I think the biggest issue with these tins is like how they pick and choose what gets what rarity. I think because they understand what is sought after and what people like and what nostalgia is. I think they understand these different parts of it. So they do need to understand like, okay, Perulia is a sought after card. It's placed in anything, so let's make it easier to get, right? SP, we already have it in multiple different rarities. We have it as a QCR. Fuck it, let's give it as a Starlight.
Sure.
Because it's a very accessible card, but
Yes.
Perulia isn't. So now, but then there's certain cards where like Shining Sarcophagus. I'm kind of going back to it now. But like Shining Sarcophagus already has a QCR. No one's chasing after Shining Sarcophagus as a general card. So this card should have just came as like a secret or just like an ultra, so that way people can make a Shining Sarc deck out of these mega packs.
Yes.
So cards like Turnstones, for example, that didn't have a QCR because everything else in the Shining Star like archetype already has a QCR. Turnstone should have just got a Starlight because now it's like I can now match it with the rest of the deck with being a high rarity.
To the best of your ability.
Exactly,
right?
because now I have a QCR Shining Sarcophagus deck with a super rare or like even
Yes.
super rare
Fuck
Turnstones.
you. Bro, I've
So-
played common cards in Voiceless Voice.
Like-
Still, today.
So like it just doesn't make sense. Like make sure like the decks can
Christ.
I'm so
match
glad I don't
like
play any
in
World decks.
rarity to some degree, even if it's like a secret and like prismatic secret like joint. So for example, like March Hare secret rare.
Yeah.
So maybe if they made all the Malice cards like that came in
Secrets,
this,
yes.
like prismatic secrets, that's fine because then
Yeah,
you kind of
they
have
did,
you have a deck of secrets, which is good.
Yes,
But then like
yes, 100%.
why? But why is like Duo Drive and I think Detonator 2 are both commons. Like they're ultras, put them as secrets because they were fun.
Or print all the Malice cards, like March Hare,
Yeah.
as ultras. So that people who have the supers, which are inexpensive, can pick up their White Rabbit Ultras, and now they don't have to chase after, which is also inexpensive, but it's harder to come by, the March Hare Secret Rares, right? Also, it's awkward, because the sets that those released in, like you said, don't have Secret Rares. Yeah. So now my deck is like, it looks weird.
Yeah.
Beard is weird.
Yeah.
So, interestingly enough, so March Hare came out in this year's set, so weirdly enough, which is another whole different discussion, and that's annoying, is that next year, you'll get a March reprint.
Yes.
But you said it perfectly. I want my shit to match, say, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so if the closest I can get is a prismatic secret rare of the other Malice cards, that's fine. Because now, like, I have a matching rarity deck, which only applies, or is only, like, a desirable thing to certain people who play the game. Certain people don't care. In certain decks, I don't care. Right? But if it's a deck I'm passionate about, and a deck that you acknowledge was one of the biggest decks this year, because you printed it twice in your fucking, this is the big year thing. Like, yes. So, okay. Okay, so what do you think this who is this product for? What is in here?
So, first of all, before I forget, like, this is something that I noticed. When you were talking about the way that, when you looked at last year's set, and you knew what idiots you were getting around the outside because the box fucking told you, whereas this year, they almost played the reverse role, where they're like, oh, hey, we're not going to tell you which secret rares you're going to get, or which Starlight rares you get. They might be a surprise. But the prismatic secret rares are the chase cards. Those are the ones that, like, they almost pull the reverse on them.
Which is
the chase is a prismatic.
I honestly think it's fine. Like the way this tin was done last year and this year's tin was done is that, like, okay, the QCR slot or now the Starlight slot is not necessarily the chase card. It's just a cool thing that we think, like, when we look back in another 25 years, it's going to be cool that we had printed these as this rarity.
Kind of like these guys.
That's not the case with these, though. What is Starlight? Like, it's not a reflective point where you could be like, QCR.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just a Starlight rare.
So, okay, we're printing, like, a high rarity for cards that don't have it.
Which you can see. Nice.
But then who is this product for?
So,
taking into consideration what you just said.
So, based off of kind of like, I kind of side with what Raaid said here is, like, these... If I was Konami and I'm thinking about these products, I'm like, hey, this is last year's set, and these are, like, all this, like, the meta decks from last year, and oddly enough, the one deck that they did get right, besides the Worlds set aside, was Tenpai.
Sure.
Now, to their credit, that deck was built as a common. Deck. Right. So all of them getting upgrades like Chandra, which was an OTS upgrade, Hydra, Fadra, all of them going to Ultras, that's fucking sick. Right?
You know what's different though? That deck came out in the main set. So it makes sense that those cards are Ultras. Whereas crossover breakers, the lowest rarity you could get is a rare, and that only applies to, in Malice's case anyways, some of the traps. But all the monsters were available as holos originally. Not the case with Tenpai. Tenpai was also developed as an answer to how crazy the power creep had made going first in the game. So it was available as commons because now everyone can play it. You just gotta play this cringe fucking OTK deck. No offense.
That's okay.
But
we got Max Radius.
Exactly. Which is fine, dude. Like, I agree with you, and, like, that's how it should be handled. The deck that you played all year. Thanks for supporting us all year, buddy. Here's some ultra rares.
We'll rarity bump it. You know, it might be in a binder somewhere, sitting and waiting for the next format. But, like, still, you can switch them out.
But it's cool.
It's cool. Where it's like,
okay, so this product is for the people who played last year and need rarity up, like
it's to get. It's kind of like to say, hey, you know what, guys, we appreciate you sticking it out last season. Here you go. Right, and it's like. All the cards, like, I totally agree with you. The fact that your voiceless card is still common, that's fucked up.
Taking myself out of the equation, right? Because, would I like my fucking non-foiled voiceless cards to just be all foiled? Like, sure. I don't need a rarity bump for a super card to ultra. What are we doing? But, common to super or ultra, sure. But, again, like... If this product is for players who played last year who want different rarities for the cards they have, taking the Worlds thing out of... Because I think the Worlds product is actually really cool. I think it's cool that you can, like, hey, yeah, your Cryptor only comes as an Ultra. Here's a rarity upgrade. But then that is very similar to what you're saying this product is for, no?
Yeah.
Okay. So then why the fuck can I get Retaliating Sea as a fucking Starlight?
Right.
Why the fuck last year was I getting Green Gadget as a QCR, right? Okay. Those are two separate things. Throwback cards, because we think it's going to be cool to see them in a high rarity, and like, we can't create a new rarity without printing Exodia in it.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
Agreed. But then, who is this product for? Is it for nostalgic players and collectors?
Yeah.
Or is it for people who played the game all year and want rarity bumps?
Yeah.
If it's for both, it's a poorly designed product.
Yeah.
We have the retro pack,
Yes.
which is also really cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't really
Interesting.
appeal to me because I don't play retro formats. But why doesn't the retro pack have all these cards that are useful in Edison formats, which you won't acknowledge, or GOAT formats, which you also won't acknowledge, and are forcing your player base to play them in ways they don't want to, which is weird. Why then are those retro packs not dedicated to these cards, right? It makes more sense to combine retro formats with collector cards because those things kind of apply to each other. Somebody could look at a Dark Magician or BLS Envoy
Well, that would be a sick one to reprint.
and be like, okay, this is cool for collectors because you've seen something, albeit not the same monster, but like it in the show. Pulling a Summon Skull to a GOAT player is probably more meaningful, even though it's probably not playable in that format, than it is to me who wants to play modern Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of the people we play with at locals didn't watch the show, which sounds crazy, but that's the reality. Them pulling a Shining Sark card is bananas.
Yeah.
They don't fucking care.
Yeah. Like, why does it start?
They don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Pulling a QCR Dark Magician, which is an unplayable mess currently, right? No offense.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to play it too, but like, it's hard to do, and it's only something you do if you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
That's meaningless to like someone who picked up the game 2 years ago and has no reference of the animes, right?
Right.
So then again, is this a product for players who play the metagame, or is this a product for collectors? And if it's both, why does it feel so bad to open sets of this and get nothing for either thing?
Yeah,
right?
no,
you're right.
You didn't pull any like crazy throwback cards in yours. You pulled like some cards that were actually just reprinted in the world set in a different rarity, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you only pulled like a few meta relevant cards, and the rest of the slots were like, why the fuck is this here?
Yes.
Right? Things like Retaliating Sea, which is also an infuriating point about this, is they're printing cards that have like obscure meta relevance, like the Ally of Justice card, a Retaliating Sea. There's a third one you brought up before, but cards like that. So you are aware of the metagame, even though this product was designed before this format.
Yeah.
Ironically,
So you knew that these would have impacts on the format. But still, you're making Impulse a chase card. Knowing that that card is actually not as viable in the meta currently because there's no mono attribute deck, right? So, it's like very frustrating.
Here's another thing, and this is one of my like main state beefs with this, and the reason why it's like at the forefront of my mind as we're talking about this is because I remember one of my things with these last year sets when I bought the 2 cases is that I wanted the fucking Raigeki and I wanted the Harpy's Featherstorm. Like those were 2 chase cards of last year that was like, oh, this is sick, all art, like it's got Slight for the Sky Dragon and Harpy's using the Feather Duster.
They're QCR only, right?
Last year? No, they were Prismatic Secret Rays last year.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were a chase card last year, and this is what I mean where they kind of did the backwards, that they were short printed and it was fucking hard to get them in this. And then this year...
They're fucking clumped.
They're like clumped.
Yeah. Watch the video. Watch it.
Yeah.
Go to locals. You'll see someone do the same.
I think there's like 4 or 5 people that I know, including myself, who got that Starlight
me.
Raigeki and the Starlight Feather Duster of the alt art from the 2014s. As Starlight, so it's like
in the same pack.
Same pack, same bundle, whatever.
Same bundle,
which is like crazy because like this is technically the higher rarity, so easy to come by. And like 5
but
other
that
people.
says to me that like there is like we know short printing's a thing, sure, but not just that. Like the way they're printing cards isn't random, which then makes it feel like, okay, if it's not truly random, then the packs that I'm buying aren't truly random, meaning I don't have the ability to actually have the mathematical odds of pulling the cards that I actually want, because I know in every case there can only be one SP, because the way the sheets come off the fucking thing, that's the only way to make it viable, right? Whereas, like, okay, and this is like a Master Duel versus IRL thing, right? In Master Duel, if you open a pack, it's odds based, right?
Yeah.
You have a 1 in 10 chance of pulling that SP ultra rare card, let's say, right?
Okay.
In real life, there is a certain amount of SPs they have printed. So if the 3 of us on Master Duel all open the same pack, we have the same odds of getting it.
Yeah.
That's not true in real life. If we buy a case, and we each open a third of that case, right? Trying to pull that SP. Only one of us can pull the card because only one exists in that case.
Yeah.
That's not the same. Saying that those odds are the same is like illegal, essentially.
Yeah.
Because that's not true. On Master Duel, we could all miss or we could all hit.
Yeah.
Right?
We could also craft them too.
Yeah, type shit. But when you print cards that way, where it's not truly random, then to advertise it as being truly random, making those cards, like, intentionally short printing those cards, and then advertising the set with those cards, feels so, like, fishing. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
It's like you said, the carrot in front of the rabbit kind of thing.
Type shit.
I think that's just what they're. It's just such a bad way of doing it. Even with this, like the mega packs for 2025, it's like we got like hinted about what these starlights are.
Yeah.
But there's so many of them. There's like a lot of starlights in this. Whereas like with the 24 tins and the 23 tins, this is what you see on the tins, like what you can get. So there wasn't a lot, and it's good to choose from. It's like all nostalgia. So you knew you were getting nostalgia. With this one, you just kind of knew you were going to get a handful, a bunch of different things, and they would preview them like, yeah, you could get this. It's like, oh shit, I can get SP in this. All the more reason, like, not all the more reason, but it incentivizes people to now buy these tins. Because like, I want a Starlight SP. Because it feels like a Starlight bullshit card, like no one cared about. No one's gonna buy the tins, right?
Well, it kind of goes back to what Matt was saying. The difference between these two sets, or it might have been you. It's like with these ones, they listed on the outside what cards were like.
Yeah, some of the ones
QCRs.
available as QCRs.
Yeah. When you opened the set, the QCR was on the top.
Yeah.
So you knew right away.
No, not these ones. These ones that were in the packs. It was the 23 tins.
Oh, it was the 23. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, these ones all came with one QCR.
Yeah, in each one.
Yeah.
Each mega pack had
each
one.
mega pack had one QCR?
Yes.
So
yeah. So regardless, you still kind of looked at the outside and you're like, oh, this is the QCR set list.
Yes.
So you kind of knew like what was coming out of it.
Yeah.
With the Starlight one, as you were saying just now, it's like because the Starlight set was so big, you're like...
The cards on the tin are not even available as Starlights. Like the monsters that are with the characters on the boxes
are
like ultra rares.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like the Yugi's Dark Magician of Chaos, that one, I pulled one, by the way. So, and it's an ultra rare, so that's also kind of fucking wild. Like I'm glad I didn't pull more than one of them because it's such a terrible card. But like even as an ultra face card, it's like one of crazy.
And again, like, okay, if you buy a tin, if you buy any Yu-Gi-Oh product, besides one that has set card lists, right? You shouldn't expect to pull the face card.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want the face card.
Yeah.
The tin is just like that as well, right? Whatever. But there's always going to be a risk and a gamble there. That's part of the fun, is when you actually beat the odds and you pull the thing. But technically you're not beating the odds. You're just the fucking jackass who pulled the card, right?
Yeah.
But all that said, it's still like, it feels disingenuous of Konami to make a product like this. And like we've said in the past, we've been burned by these products. Because even if every Starlight available was a meta-relevant card, if they fucking just reprinted the Justice Hunters, Azuna, and every Draco Tail card, and every Canine card, every Yummy card, hey, if you didn't get them a week ago, you can get them here as Starlights. Even if that was the case, it would still feel like the carrot kind of in front of... Because it's like so much filler has gone into this thing where it's like.
So then the bigger problem is like the card pool, right?
The card pool.
Yeah,
it's card
so
pool.
Much cards.
Again, it comes back to like my question is like, what is this for?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think, Bon. I think you are right when you say like it is just like it makes people feel like they can get something.
Yeah.
That's not really there.
Yeah.
Getting your hopes up.
It's like a false shift.
Here's another way for me to get Perulia, but then hey, let's throw in an SP because this is another way to get an SP.
Yeah.
Another way to get an Imperm because like these are cards from different sets because there is no other set that will have the Dominus cards together that will have those two Charmings together. SP and Imperm. You won't find a set that has
Purge.
Yeah, you won't have a set that has all those together. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna buy a bunch of these tuck boxes because then if I buy a bunch of them, I can get a bunch of these cards.
Yes.
Right, and that's kind of what they'll do is they'll just mash them all together into like one bigger set. So then, but then the pool becomes so big. It's like, okay, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna put like some of the best cards from last year's set, put like the actual deck. So gonna do the Exodia deck, do the Shining Stark deck, do Fiendsmith, and maybe like 2 other decks. Throw them in there. Yeah. Not some of these other wasteful cards that have no relevance to the deck. I don't care if it like remotely supports it. If it actually isn't a part of the core like engine, don't put it in there. Yeah. And then throw in those staples that were very popular because I know Konami knows what was popular in the last year.
Like, what the fuck is the point of every OTS filling out a deck list, every regional filling out your deck list, submitting it, having that information go up to Konami? They see.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, they don't just do it for the purposes of judging. Like, that is useful data they can use.
Yeah.
If every topping deck is playing Perulia, they know they can make more money off putting Perulia in the set. However, like, it feels so shady to just be like, you can get it again.
Yeah.
Hey, I know you keep seeing your buddy's top. I know you want it.
Yeah.
Here's a chance. And it's like, okay, but realistically, you're never, like, you might get one.
Yeah.
And even if you did, it was lucky.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of, again.
It's silly, but like, at the same time, it's like, if they had made, like, Perulia more accessible in these things, it'll make people buy it more likely. Because if I know that I can get in one tin, maybe get 2 Perulias, I'm going to buy the second tin. And I get a place.
I have a question for you then. For you, what has been the most, like, useful purchase you've made in Yu-Gi-Oh! In the last, like, year?
Besides the Blue Eye structure decks, it would have been like the Rarity collection and these tins.
Okay, so that's my point though. It's like the structure deck.
Yeah.
You got a list of cards that you knew you were getting.
Yes.
You knew from there you could take that, pivot that into whatever you needed it to be.
Yes.
You played that deck for a year.
Yes.
Right? And so have many other people.
Yes.
And now, again, these are things we don't have access to, but if we could see, like, okay, we knew when that set came out, the resurgence that the game got.
Yeah.
Because you're printing something that's actually for both sets of players.
Yeah.
Returning players, collectors, who watch the show, know Blue Eyes, and want to play with the deck, want the deck to be meta relevant.
Yes.
Like yourself, like Chad.
Yeah.
Blue Eyes likes the font, right? Okay. Also meta relevant. Huge thing.
Yeah.
So not only do you get returning players, you get a deck that's like comprehensible and like I think has like a pretty good learning curve.
Yeah.
And is actually serves the purpose of something like this where it's like this has meta application, this has collector application, this appeals to both metagamers and people who just casually play, right? Yeah. Okay. So now if we apply that same logic to sets, if we bought Rhoda and we got a playset of Fuwalos in a lower rarity, say not secrets, like, let's be reasonable. Let's say they're supers, right? Yeah. You would be more likely, well, at least I know I would, like, you'd be more likely to buy that product, knowing that you get play sets of the things you need in order to take them onto the next, let's say, 3 months as the cycle of set releases come out, right? That creates for a healthy metagame. When we all have access to Fuwalos, then it's not just the guys at the top tables who are willing to spend the money on 3 secret rare Fuwalos on release that have access to it. Then you get rid of the problem of it just being pay to win. And also you get rid of the problem of shops being stuck with product. if you buy a box and he buys a box and I buy a box, that's 3 boxes down.
Yeah.
If you buy a pack and he buys a pack and I buy a pack and we all pull shitty packs, we're not buying second packs.
Yeah.
So those packs don't sit,
Yeah.
right? Like you said, anytime you see a box of rarity, you know the value's there, you buy it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Anytime there's a box that you don't have, there's a staple in that box that you do need, and you know you're getting 3 of them, you'd buy the box.
Yeah.
Because my investment into this hobby, which it is, for most people, 99% of us, this is a hobby that we're passionate about.
Yeah.
If you know that buying a box means you can compete for the next, whatever, month, 2 months, 3 months, because you have access to the staple, years at some point. Like, Fuwalos isn't going anywhere. Maxi still gets played in the OCG.
Master Duel.
You know, if Maxi only got printed once in the OCG, and in Master Duel, it was so hard to pull it. Like, it would feel unfair.
Yeah.
Even more so than Maxi already feels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, shops don't really have a problem. Like, a lot of shops have to open product because they need to sell singles.
Yeah.
Because they need to make more money off sets.
Yeah.
Because if the set does end up sitting, they need to have made their money on it.
Yeah.
So, the price of those secret rares go way up, right? The singles go way up because people need to make the vendors need to make their money, shops need to make their money. They have to open product to do that, right? But they don't. If we switch to a system where, you know, Perulia or Fulos, the staple cards, that Konami knows are staple cards. Let's be real. If those are available in the box, as a player, I know I'm gonna get 3 no matter what. Then shops don't have to take those same risks, right? Sorry, go ahead.
So that kind of brings it back to what I was saying earlier, where I'm starting to see the writing on the wall with these potentially be, like, we'll call them, respectfully calling them, withholding sets. Mm-hmm. They withhold your excitement.
Yeah.
So Konami can kind of gauge where people are at.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, like, you know, you went out to look for a display.
Yeah.
I, like, pre-ordered a display
with
the same intent in mind, right? Like, we thought with the same mind. We're like, oh, cool. Like, you know what? Like, maybe we'll grab, like, for me, I'm like, I want to play a set of Purge, right? Or I'm like, also, I'm a gambler, so, like...
But that's the thing. Like, if getting a case like you got you a playset of Purge, even though if Purge is only worth $5 right now, that's still not a bad feeling.
Yeah.
You got what you wanted out of the set. Let's say it's even 15.
Yeah.
It's sitting at like 30 right now, I think. Around that, 20 to 30.
Is it?
30-ish US.
US, so it's like 45 CAD.
So,
Actually, no, Purge is on the higher end because it's
right,
mad relevant.
Fear's yummy,
Impulse is on the low end now.
Weird how that's just it.
I know.
Which is like a good card design. But if you got them, right, then you don't feel so bad about forking out nearly $300 for the set because you got what you wanted.
Yes.
So even though it's a steep price to pay, you're more than happy without having to chase these cards down, compete against everybody else who wants those cards, needs those cards to compete. Right? Imagine you're a Yummy player not playing Purge right now. You're at a disadvantage. Right? Same as if when I was a Malice player without impulses, if I play a mirror match, there's a better than 0 chance I'm gonna fucking lose because I don't have impulse, just because of that card, right? So, how would you feel if you got the playset of Purge?
If I got a playset of Purge, I'd be pretty happy because of the value of it.
Right? Even if you're not buying them to sell them.
No.
Some people do. I think that's fine. But you're not. You just want the cards. You paid $300. You supported Konami in doing so. You supported our local shop in doing so. You still didn't get what you want.
No.
So, that patience only lasts so long before you're like, fuck it, dude, I'm just going to buy singles. Guess who doesn't get directly profited by that? Konami. If a set comes out that doesn't have singles that you're willing to buy, the shop gets fucked.
No, that's why I don't buy any of the other sets.
So here's the thing.
They're like sets that come out, I don't buy them ever because I'm like, what the fuck am I doing this? Alien, I'm not doing anything with this. Like, I think the only set I'm gonna buy this year is gonna be New Destruction. Because it's got relevant cards for Archmage. But if I wasn't using Archmage, I wouldn't care about this upcoming set anyways. So it's just like whatever. That's why I like the tins and I like the Rarity Collection because they do throw in the cards that I want to have.
Yes.
And they'll not. It's not just 1 or 2 cards. It's multiple cards. Because the Maze of whatever that had the Perulia reprint, I only would have wanted Perulia out of that set, I think. But I'm not gonna buy
Horrible.
$90 for a card that I know that's short printed.
Yes.
So if the only card I was looking
Yes.
for in the mega packs was Perulia, if it was the only card that I wanted, and knowing that it's short printed, I wouldn't buy this mega pack.
Exactly.
Because people know that it's short printed. So anyone that's searching for a certain card and they know it's short printed, or they're not likely to buy it, they're not gonna spend $20 to get 3 mega packs to not open anything, not open the card they want. Now that because there's a handful of cards that I wanted, buying this case was not a bad idea. I got the Vistas, which was cool. I got a couple Blue Eyes upgrades. The SP, that's great. Like, I got some good cards. It's just like the amount of unnecessary, unwanted cards. That like at that point, it's just like I'm just being like a brat about it. It's like, oh, you just didn't get some of the cards you don't want.
I don't think so, dude. Because it's not that you don't want those cards. Nobody fucking wants those cards.
Yeah, that's true. But because then, even like it's the amount of duplicates that I got. I didn't get duplicates of the cards that I wanted besides like Jerusalem.
Sure.
But I got like 2 of those Monarch Starlights. I got 2 of the Karibos, the Retaliating Sea, the Monarch cards, like just some random cards that like no one's ever just playing. I'm not playing right now, and I got duplicates of those, but I couldn't get duplicates of the Blue Eye stuff that I would have wanted. And I just don't know. Like, the ratio is just terrible. I think the ratio should just be more even if they're at least going to do these weird rarity like upgrades for cards that shouldn't get an upgrade.
But the reason why the price on like those short printed cards is so high is because they're short printed. There's less of them. The demand is still there. All of that, right? But if you just print cards that people want, it's less about like I spent $300. I didn't make my money back. Feels bad.
Yeah.
It's like I spent $300. I got the cards I wanted.
Yes.
I'm good.
Yes.
You got my $300.
Yeah.
Why do you have to now? And this is the part that's frustrating: is they don't get to feel like that.
Yeah.
Because now you buy them as singles from Joe Blow who pulled them.
Yes.
Right. That is a transaction they're neither aware of or affected by.
Yes.
Because it's not just that you're not going to go buy more product.
Yes.
You shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
They don't expect you to.
Yep.
They feel like they got your ass.
Yeah.
And now that's it.
You spent your $275.
Truthfully, no, he's right. Like Konami, like I just spent $275 on your product. I didn't get any Perulias. I'm not buying more of these tins. I'm just gonna go buy them from someone else because it's gonna be cheaper. I spent $275, didn't get one. You think I'm gonna spend another $275 in hopes to get a playset? Goddamn hell no.
No, you know what else you're not going to do? You're not going to buy a case of tins again.
No.
Because you know how they operate.
Yes.
Now, right? It's same when you buy a main set and you get the fucking awful secret rare. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
Then you buy singles.
Tin?
Yeah.
Not. Yeah, I have. I
Yeah,
bought
okay.
it. Yeah.
Just, you know what? And this is where, like, what Matt says, it comes between, like, what is this appealing to? And again, before I forget it, it's like, I love that analogy and that expression of, like, when you invest in a set. And again, I go back to, like, my investment with Josh, right? And that's probably how I'm going to start doing it going forward.
Yeah.
Always support the boys. I'll grab a box of whatever set comes out just to, like, gamble. But, like, when I can't remember what it's called, the set that comes out in the winter. It's a side set.
Phantom Revengers.
Phantom Revenge. Yeah. So when that set comes out, I'll buy a case.
Yeah.
Why? Because I know for the next season, I'll have the 3 main decks.
Or at least cores or
Cores.
like something you can build off of.
Yeah, like right now it's like I'm playing VSK9, love it. It's carrying me through halfway through the season. I can be like, I don't know if I feel like this. I'll just switch over to Draco Tail.
Yeah.
And then Doom of Dimensions is giving them support, so now I can play it at a different level, right?
Something, yeah.
Going back to these tins, when we talk about like how you bought them before, it's like you really have to be a gambler to kind of want these. Because last year when I went and grabbed them, my main thing was I was new to Yu-Gi-Oh! I was unaware of how pull ratios work. And I was like, cool, I'll buy 2 cases and I'll get all these cards. Yeah. I don't even remember getting any of the prismatic secret rares that I thought were crazy. I think I might have got Typhon was on this too.
Yes.
Which is the actual answer to the question I asked you guys. Like, who is this product for? Yeah. This is for people who don't know any better. Yeah. I'm not saying this to offend you. Because,
absolutely.
I knew you were buying the thing, right? And obviously, you're a grown-ass man. That's your decision and stuff, right? And you bought them before, and it was actually, like, not lucrative, but it was, like, you felt like you got value out of it.
Oh, I definitely got value.
Yes. So,
Huh?
Did you buy last year's tin?
I bought these. So I bought the 2024 mega packs, the case.
Yeah.
And I made my money back.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
some.
You bought a case?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
I got a case. So like my pull for that was very much more worth it compared to this.
Yeah.
The equivalent of last year to this year, I would have pulled 2 Pulias. I would have pulled like Impulse.
Yeah.
I would have pulled like a Purge. Like I would have pulled a lot of the cards that I wanted, and I would have been very content.
Yes,
But
not even like you made your money back because you're going to sell those cards.
Yeah.
But had you bought those cards as singles, you probably would have spent the same amount of money, if not comparable.
Exactly. I got my value out of it.
Yes.
Right? Like
Yeah.
100%. Compared to this year, I don't think I did. I think I got like half my value, right? And I think that's also just to do with the card market in itself. Because last year I pulled 2 SPs that were 60 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 Mcetis, which was 60 for the pair. 1 Blue Eyes, which was 60 at the... That's like 5 cards right there.
Did you get a case of these last year? Sorry. Did you get a case of these, you said?
Yes.
Remember the casings are different too.
What do you mean?
From this year and last year? So this year, what is a display is half a case.
12.
Yeah.
It was 12.
It's 36 packs, yeah.
But a case last year was 12 as well. It was 12 tins.
12 tins, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Same.
it was.
Yeah.
It's less expensive because you're not paying for the metal.
The metal. But like nonetheless, like the value that I got out of last year's mega packs was much higher than this year's.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the card pool made sense last year because we got another reprinted Typhon that we never touched. We got another reprint of Chaos Angel, which at that time only had a secret and the ulti rare. We got another reprint of Disbatter. We got another reprint of like SP.
Yeah.
So some good stuff. And then on top of that, we had some like nostalgic QCRs, which the sought after one is your Blue Eyes White Dragon and your Dark Magician Girl.
Yeah.
You also got a new print of Red Eyes, a new print of DMG, while also getting the Raigeki and the Harpy Feather Duster. So some nostalgic cards that people were chasing after. Because even that Dark Magician Girl, $60. That was I kept her, but like just pulling her as a secret, that's nuts too. This set, like nothing, man.
Yeah, and again, I say all that just to say that like this product fails in that it's not geared to a specific subset of the fan base. I will say, the Megatins are the most fun pack to open. On par with something like Rarity or on par of like a Battles of Legend set because it's like, okay, I'm getting a lot of holo cards. So it feels like good value. But the reality is, when those holo cards are like shitty reprints of shitty cards that are shitty for a reason, and you know they are, because on both fronts, OCG, TCG, Master Duel, like, you know these cards are not playable. You know these cards are not desired. The people who want high rarities of those cards would have gotten them already. So it's obtuse, like it's weird, because it's like, it's just not clear what the intended purpose of this card is, besides the obvious. They want to make money off chase cards that they put into this. This, especially when it was only tins available, is something they can charge more for. You know, increasing their profits, right? Whereas, like, if they, like, the rarity sets, like, who knows? Maybe that was them feeling like they're giving back to the community. The Blue Eyes structure deck. Like, who knows if that's a move out of desperation or of like, oh, we're cooking with this one. Like, it's not clear because the follow-up of those successes and the celebration of those successes is always met with some bullshit like this. Where it's like, oh my god, the 25th anniversary stuff is awesome. Rarity got a lot of people back into the game. Rarity 2 sucked. Rarity 3 was like very good for the metagame. It equalized the playing field. Rarity 4 was fine. Blue Eye Structure Deck got a lot of people back into the game. These tins just kind of like destroy any faith your player base has in the company. The game changes of the time rules. The top cut rule changes. Those things all at the same time, which is unfortunate for Konami, but it's kind of a wake-up call to the player base. Is like, you've been saying this the whole time, but Konami is a snake, not even just in a metaphorical way, but ride with me here. When you, maybe snake owners might take umbrage with this, but there's certain animals you can own as a pet owner that you are just a meal to them. You feed them, and because you do that, and there's a cage between them and you, they don't eat you. If that changes, if they go hungry, they will eat you every time. They will never love you back as much as you love that thing. Like the fucking whales at SeaWorld and the trainers type shit.
Yeah.
They will never love you back. They're not capable of it.
Yeah.
This is an entity, Konami, that has so many steps of bureaucracy. And maybe the tins as a product is a clear example of like, there's people there who really care. Please, we need to get these people a reprinting of Impulse and Purge.
Yeah.
And we need to get people Perulias. They're still not widely enough available. Okay, yeah, look, how are we going to make money off of this? Okay, short print the fuck out of everything that guy just said.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yo, that's so true, because, like, you know, there is probably those couple people that are like, hey, man, we need to help the player base.
Yeah.
And, like, we need to do something. And then there's that other guy that's like, dude, we're not going to make no money off this. Like, fuck this, short printed.
What do you mean, print Perulia as a super rare?
And
like,
you know, like Yu-Gi-Oh players, we've talked about this for years. Like pro players all the time. You know the crazy thing about like you compare the two, like the three main games from when we were kids are like Digimon, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Right. And you can throw Magic in there.
Yeah,
because they're the four longest running games. Digimon's kind of took a break, but anyways. Even Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and Magic, right? The way that they do their sets is like a card from Magic is like old as shit. Yeah. But it'll have different varieties of it printed, right? Pokemon, on the other hand, it's Magic's like in the middle.
Yeah, and both of those games have set rotation, to be fair, but yeah.
Pokemon's on the left-hand side of it. They're like, fuck it. Like, you want a mega rare Charizard? You get a mega rare Charizard. You want a common Charizard? They do the same fucking thing, but it's up to collector.
This is your part. Pokemon screws collectors because it's like, yeah, okay, we'll put the Chase Mega fucking shiny ass Charizard in there, but like, okay, weirdo, like, yeah, buy a bunch of cases, try to get the Mega Rare Charizard, you freak.
Yeah.
But it's not like, yo, every deck in the game is Mega Rare Charizard.
No.
You need it to be competitive.
Yes.
You don't fucking need it. It's an alt art.
Yeah.
It's like, only if you're like the sweat that wants to get it and then sell it.
Yeah.
But
and only if you play a fire deck,
type
and there's
shit.
alternatives to that Charizard.
You can buy into Pokemon for so much less than it costs to buy into a Yu-Gi-Oh deck because they don't paywall their players.
Yeah.
They paywall collectors.
Yes.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Somebody off the street could go into a card shop and be able to get a deck, show up to the event, and not feel like they're getting their teeth stomped in. If you go, and like I said, you bought the Blue Eyes deck, it was enough to compete. But if you go and buy that same Blue Eyes deck today,
You throw it
you
in the
buy
trash.
3 of them even, then you try to compete with it, adding no supplemental things. Right, like your first game, you walk in, you're going to get stomped.
Yes.
Now the Yu-Gi-Oh, we're sick freaks, and that's like that first stomping is like what gets you into the game.
Yeah.
But other TCGs like don't deal with that problem, and it's weird that like Konami punishes us for wanting to be good at the game.
Yeah.
Pokemon, that's not a thing.
Yeah, no, there's Yu-Gi-Oh! It's almost like the other way, where it's like, especially now, it's like if you're a vendor or you're a collector, like you're kind of getting rents. Like these guys that I feel bad for that go out and buy these because they're like, oh man, there's gonna be a chase card that I can resell. Unfortunately, the value on them isn't there really because like A, people aren't really pulling them, and B, when they do, like, yeah, you can sell singles, but the price of the singles, like Matt was saying earlier, is like the QCRs that you're sitting on, they just tank.
Yes.
So now you're set to force to liquidate it after you bought it for higher.
Yes. Yeah. Like that's what like Sam was saying from PSX. He was saying like if you're a collector, don't hope that your value is gonna stay. Right? Like buy, like don't expect to hold their value, whatever. So if you're buying it for the sake of like investing in Yu-Gi-Oh, bad idea. Do not invest. Buy it to collect for yourself. And
play for fun.
Yeah, exactly. And just collect for yourself. If you want QCRs, get those QCRs. We don't expect the prices to shoot up 5 years from now. You know what I mean? If they do, they do. Whatever. But I think, like, knowing that I couldn't pull, for example, like certain cards out of this mega packs from the 2025 set, I'm just gonna tell people like, hey, if you're searching for Perulias, just buy them as a single. Don't bother buying one of these tins in hopes to get it. You're just not. You're less like you're very unlikely to get it, and it's just gonna be a waste of your money and time.
Yeah.
Just put that money, that $20 for that tuck box, put it towards an actual Perulia. It'll be a lot better that way. you might get lucky to pull the one from here, but like your just chances of it is just so slim. There's no equal chances of pulling it compared to any other prismatic secret. So go for it, but you're probably gonna get some fucking Vados card that you're not really gonna use.
I'm actually looking for that card.
What I would like to see is like Konami make efforts to make our game more sustainable.
Yeah.
Because as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, right? Like I go to locals. The ideal scenario is I pay for entry, I get packs for free for winning. Like today, I went X1 4 or 5 rounds. I get 4 packs.
Yeah.
Right. That is more than I paid for entry in terms of MSRP value. Right.
Yeah.
I'm up. Obviously, the way a tournament works, not everybody gets 4 packs.
Yeah.
So it equals out for the store, whatever. Right. But for me, like that is a win for me. But at that point, I'm not actually investing any money towards Konami.
Yeah.
I'm taking old product off the shelves.
Yeah.
In an effort to help the store, you know, maybe get a cool card I can sell for more money than I paid.
Yeah.
But ideally, I'm actually not spending money on the game directly.
Yeah.
Now, I do buy product because I want to support my friends who run the shop. I do get product sometimes just because I think it's fun to open product, and that's not a crime.
Yeah.
But ideally, I'm not. I'm buying singles from people who bought product.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable because if the singles stop being profitable, then I'm not going to buy singles.
Yeah.
It's hard for the stores to stay open if people aren't buying the product, right? So I would just like to see some sort of effort made where it's like we acknowledge that it's tough for stores to stay in business.
Yeah.
We acknowledge that like players shouldn't have to break the bank to get a meta deck.
Yeah.
And, you know, approach it in a way that's like...
Come correct, Konami.
Yeah, type shit.
Come correct. Like, stop withholding on us, man. We come out here, we play your game, we support your stores that buy your product, like... And like I said before, and this is my last rant.
Yeah.
Don't pull a Rarity 5 on us. Don't do that. Because, like, my boy out here, myself too, we're going to spend, like, $550 together in product. And the next month, you're like, hey, guys, guess what? We'll actually sell you a case for $1,100. And you can get every single card you wanted in the last one in play sets. Yeah. And you're guaranteed it.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they did do, like, a yearly rarity collection at the end of the year, it would make these tins irrelevant.
See, back in my day, Konami would reprint rarity cards in the premium gold sets. And the thing was, they look like garbage, but you got them.
Border, right?
Yeah, they were fucking horrendous. But you couldn't complain because it's the only way you're gonna get your staple cards, right? But now, you know, that gimmick's over.
Yeah,
they don't do that anymore, thank God. Yeah. But like, yeah, it's proven rarity sells. It's proven structure decks sell.
Yeah.
All they really need to do is like create a system where, you know, the player doesn't feel like the company's getting the one over on them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with spending hundreds of dollars on product if the product I have holds its value.
Yeah.
Yep.
And holds its value in a gameplay aspect, not in a resale aspect.
I think it would be a good idea for Konami, maybe to even like scrap the idea about mega packs.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of giving us like these tins with like that's decks from like the last year, just turn them into structure decks.
Yeah.
Right. So then like the big cards, like the main staples, like the ones that are like the 3 of, maybe those are like the ultras in that structure deck, but nothing crazy, no super rare. Maybe the promo card, like Blue Eyes had.
Sure.
But then you have a rarity collection.
Yep.
Same cards, but they're just in a rarity collection that you just get different rarities.
I'm surprised you know that Pokemon does this.
Are you serious?
Yeah. They print the deck that wins the world championship is a deck you can walk into a store and buy.
Wow.
Depending on when you get it.
Yeah.
And I don't know Pokemon that well. It might be outside of the set rotation.
Yes.
So it might not be playable in the tournament. But it's a deck you can pick up, you can play, you can learn.
Yes.
You can learn the mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
In Yu-Gi-Oh, the structure decks they print in most cases, if any deck that's not Fire King and Blue Eyes
Yeah.
are ass.
Yes.
And they were good 5 years ago.
Yes.
Now they're giving it some support cards, which could elevate it.
Yeah.
But in most cases, you get like the Dark World deck or the Charmers deck or
Right.
Obelisk and Slifer, which are unplayable garbage.
Yes,
Yes,
it is.
Traptrix.
So in which case it's
Traptrix
like
is good,
and
It was crazy.
and like for those structure decks, yeah, awful. So now
Egyptian
for
gods.
this year though, at the end of the year, we should be getting like in theory we should get like a Malice deck. We
Yep.
should get a Raaid deck.
Yep.
Right, you get.
That's you could try, yeah.
No, I based off of what you said though, like,
Yeah, but yeah.
No, I like that cooking idea. You know,
'Cause,
it's
like-
like at the end of the year, instead of like if you replace these with a deck build set,
Yeah.
not a deck build set, like a structure deck.
Yeah, structure deck.
Legendary decks type shit.
Yeah,
Exactly. You
like
take-
2024 structure deck,
Yeah.
deck
Yeah.
build, whatever.
You take this.
So you get the 3 decks. So then
You're pulling
then
all this
next
data
year-
anyways of what people are pulling.
Yes.
Why not 3 decks of the most played decks of the
yes,
year?
because you know people are gonna buy 3 of those.
Type shit.
They're not buying one. They're gonna
Yeah.
buy 3 of them. So they're gonna buy 3. So $30 they're already gonna spend. This is $20.
Because like think about it, you put like common, even if you put common ashes, imprims, Nibiru's, just like you did with the blue eyes, right? And then you put like even if they're at the time that they're printed, they're semi-limited, like X, Ice, and Sword.
Yep.
You put them in there as like super rares or whatever it is, and then somebody that's coming into the game can pick up a deck building set
Yes.
and start playing.
And then
Right,
what better
because-
deck for that person to learn than a deck or 3 decks that everybody in the room is familiar with and
Yeah.
can be like, okay, I know we only have 50 minutes to do this, but yeah, this is how that works.
Yes.
So, okay, now make your next move, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, seems pretty...
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because then next year would just
You
like
see
the Justice
Konami's
Hunters. Like yeah, next year would just be like Justice Hunters structure decks.
Yeah.
Right. You just
Like
get
shit.
3 decks, and then you buy 3 of them. Yeah, and then they'll have your staples. So it doesn't have to have the Perulias and stuff, but they simply will just have your Ash, Imperm, Nib, whatever is like meta relevant, and they're common. So now people don't have to go buy those from Joe.
onboard new players into the game or returning players, onboard them with a path that they'll keep spending money
Yes.
to buy staples,
Yeah.
but they'll also not just get their teeth kicked in
Yeah.
and go home with the impression that it's pay to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So we know like Imperm and Ash are staples that have just come out a bunch. So those are that's how we know like okay, this should just automatically
Should
be
be
a
in
structure.
any
Yeah.
structure deck.
So that doesn't mean like oh it's just well,
And,
how do we decide what hand traps go into like a structure deck?
I don't know, maybe reference all the fucking data you're pulling from all
Yeah,
these decks.
but at the same time we're just not going to start splashing in Charmers and all of them.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
but
fair,
maybe
fair.
we throw like 1 Fulos in this one, and then like so like a Fulos in Dracotail, like a Meows in this.
You know
and
what
then
helps the
that.
structure deck sell? Is when there's reprints of staples, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't need to buy, I don't know, let's say back in the days like Raigeki. More recently it's like Nib, Droll,
Yeah.
right? Like, there's this staple card that's meta relevant. They're randomly like reprinting it. Say like Evenly Match was in the Traptrix deck.
Yeah.
A card that like any player should have access to because at any point that becomes a meta relevant card. It's just a solid card. Okay, as a player who plays a game that might not want to spend, $120 on a playset, now I see the Traptrix deck. Okay, you got me.
Yeah.
I'll spend $40 on this 3 structure decks so I have a playset of evenly matches, right? Now I also have a deck that's playable.
Yes.
For new players, same concept.
Yes.
Onboard them. Here's a deck that's comprehensive. You can go through. It's not just random garbage from 3-4 years ago.
And
Like-
for everyone who's thinking like, oh well, then why would I buy like a deck builder set now when I could just wait till next year for the structure decks?
Like a
Well-
ban list.
Ban list is one thing,
yeah.
and the format will be different.
Power
so,
creep, yeah.
So you can go, if Raaid, for example, or Malice had the structure decks for this year, with like the Justice Hunters, you're just gonna get washed anyways.
Type shit.
So like if you do care about winning and being like relevant in like the competitive scene, then you're gonna have to keep up with the format. It's just for people who just want to get access to solid decks very easily without needing to buy last year's sets. They
Yes.
can just buy the structure deck this year,
Waste money.
and then it's all ready to go. You know what I mean? And then get rid of like these mega packs. At least if you're gonna make the mega packs, make it like a smaller pool.
Concise.
Yeah, a smaller pool with just a higher rarity of the cards. In
Swap
which
this
case-
out for the Worlds pack. Like honestly, make the Worlds
Yeah,
pack
okay.
better don't reprint
Basically,
the rarities that they
Yeah.
already came in.
Yeah.
Like standardized rarity
Yeah.
printing for the Worlds pack.
Yeah.
Get rid of this entirely.
Yeah. Otherwise, or just do like a rarity collection for the best stuff for the year, and then just higher rarity. So it's like secret rares and up. It's all secret rares and higher.
Seeing as we're asking for things, like send me the Mitch 100 too while we're at it.
Get the fuck out. Alright, y'all. That's the TDE pod. Thanks for banging with us, man. That's another like 2.5 hour pod.
That's a lot.
Sam, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Instagram. Also, you can find me on Destiny of the Duelist. I'm actually uploading a video coming up in the next 2 weeks, so check me out there. Samson.
Yeah.
Rush.
That's it, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like this video, subscribe. If you made it to the very end, I greatly appreciate it. It's a very long podcast video.
Yeah.
Konami, fix your shit, man. Do better with these tins. Gotta figure something out. Alright, man.
And check out the tin opening video.